Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to Fully Immersed. It's me, Spencer Bennett. I think I ended last episode saying Lane Calder would be hosting the next one. Oops, I lied. It's just me, Spencer Bennett. I'm joined, as always, by Tobias Lerman-Matante.
Back-to-back champs, baby! Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Starting out with the Dodgers, of course.
I had to.
And joining the show, friend of Toby and friend of mine recently, Mr. Mike Sturman.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Mike Sturman.
The radio show voice just immediately kicked on.
Radio show. I have no idea what you are talking about.
Well, Mike, we're glad to have you. Do you want to do like a quick
Thanks
little...
for the invite on.
Yeah, of course. If you want to do like a bio, quick little description of your work. Mike works in theme entertainment. Shocking to the audience, I'm sure. But,
sure.
This is a theme entertainment podcast, not a sports podcast?
I thought it was a location-based entertainment podcast. Sorry, wrong room.
Well, yeah, we're actually here to talk about Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese all day, every day. I'm changing the topic. I'm Mike Sturman. I have a background in construction engineering management, but kind of drove that love of how to build things to a love of building theme parks. Much like Tobias, I ran a haunted house when I was young. We kind of have that in common, and that just gave me the bug. And it's that Southern California, you build theme parks, you're probably going to build, or you build haunted houses, you're probably going to build theme parks someday. And I ended up doing that. I worked at a scenic fabrication company called Nassel, did some stuff in Legoland and MSG Sphere, then ended up at Walt Disney Imagineering as an estimator for a nice internship in 6 months there. And now I'm at a company called BRC Imagination Arts as a project coordinator working on a museum. So a lot of fun, a lot of love for the industry, really loving theme parks, but also that larger industry as a whole of location-based entertainment and just ways to tell stories in physical, practical ways.
Wow, that was a really good
That was
elevator
amazing.
pitch.
I'm so bad at pitching myself, too. I hate doing it. And I always, meander, and he's just like, damn, boom.
We're very long-winded people, but that was like...
I do a lot of networking, too, so...
Sure.
I think that's where I met you. It was like a TA event, probably.
Yeah. That's how I meet all my friends. It's at TA event.
Well, if you want to meet friends in the industry, TA is the way to go.
Shout out to the Themed Entertainment Association.
Yes.
Western Division.
Western Division.
But yes, I got to meet you for the first time 2-3 weeks ago at Not Scary Farm. We had a good time. I had heard of you for a long time, but
I think I talked about him on the pod like at
many
least
times,
4 or 5 times. Yeah.
No, which was funny because I was technically also at a TEA event. It was the beginning of their state week, and I was just crashing the party a little bit. And then as I was entering the park, I was like, "Toby, is that you?" We did not plan it whatsoever. We kind of knew we were going to be in the park, and then we just got to enjoy a lot of that evening together. It was fantastic.
I truly had no idea, and I literally was told by someone whose name I should remember at TEA, who was like, "Hey, yeah, by the way, Sadie's going to be at Scary Farm. You should come." And I was like, "Okay, great." Just did not register. And then I'm there, and I'm like, I'm seeing a lot of people I think I know. Wait a second. Oh, fuck. It's
professional
today,
Wait, we're allowed to cuss on this podcast day?
Oh, we cuss so much.
We keep it fast and loose.
Dude, we cuss. Lane is doing his thing half the time, you know?
Yeah. Before we hit record, Lane will be doing some hooligan activities. And we're like, oh, okay, buddy, here we go. And then he just snaps into podcast mode.
It's crazy.
But, so speaking of haunts, which you so eloquently touched upon, that you got your start there, as Toby did. I think a lot of people, like you said, in this industry, specifically Southern California, get their start in the kind of guerrilla style haunt, the avant-garde, so to speak. But Mike, you wanted to talk about atmospheric attractions, scenic, things that are not inherently built around thrill, which is both haunts and also not, but I think in the same kind of spirit of the scenic and the theming and the, that doing the heavy lifting of the attraction versus, a ride system.
Totally. And like the way I got to that idea of
Yeah.
atmospheric attractions and kind of that idea of added value to you're not just building something in a box, you're building something in a way that multiple people can enjoy in different ways. I'm a big train lover. That's also another themed entertainment thing. And I was like, I would love to
Yeah.
talk about the Disneyland Railroad forever. But then I thought a little bit harder. I was like, well, I struggled maybe to do that for like an hour and a half. But something that I principally love about the Disneyland Railroad is that you can experience it in kind of two or three different ways. The
Mm-hmm.
principal one that everyone would think of is hop on the train and ride the train around, which is so delightful. You see the park from a different vantage point, but then also you get just as much enjoyment if you're walking around the park, maybe having a nice little lunch at Hungry Bear
Mm-hmm.
and that train just comes whizzing on by you and you're waving at the people on the train, you hear the whistle go off, and it's just a wonderful way to really get people into that atmosphere of the park, but also people are interacting with each other. You have this kinetic movement throughout, and just, I don't know, would love to talk about it for a while of the importance of building attractions that have that kind of idea of using the attraction for more than one purpose, which would be to ride it.
Even after going to Epic, having gone to Tokyo, Disney Sea, and all these amazing parks, there's like, why is Disneyland such a special place in my heart? Aside from the nostalgia factor, right? Not so much modern Disney attractions, but not even Disney, sorry, Disneyland attractions in particular. There are so many in that park that are almost better to just walk around than actually go on, besides the railroad. Dude, walking by Matterhorn at night and just hearing the howl
Sure.
is incredible. And then, like, s- I I am in the minority who actually loves Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. I know a lot of
Oh,
people
me
hate that
too.
ride.
I'm a fan, actually.
I know a lot of people
I'm a
hate that
fan
ride,
of looking at it.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that, honestly, tell me, like, that walk could be so boring. That walk from Tomorrowland into Fantasyland. But then you've got on one side the howling of uh Matterhorn, and on the other side you got this beautiful lagoon with little boats driving around it. You know what I mean? So it's that fucking thing, Spencer. It's kinetic energy.
Yes, of
Kinetic
course.
energy. No, I mean Mike is so right. On that side, it's those are neither of those I think are standout attractions. I honestly avidly avoid the Matterhorn. Uh,
Oh, really? You don't enjoy
I-
having knee replacements?
But free chiropractor services, you know?
Yeah.
but I love how it looks at night and the vibe it gives off. Same with like even stupid freaking Astro Orbit or whatever those little like spinny things are. Like I'm never gonna wait 30 minutes for that, but it looks really nice.
Dude,
It makes the park feel really nice.
I worked in that park for like 3 years, and I went all the time growing up, and I never did Astro Orbiter until I was like 19, I think. And I got on it like during, like right before fireworks. So right, that like
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
nighttime light package on Main Street and the Matterhorn and everything. I was like, oh, this is amazing. It really is like a unique vantage point of the park. So as much as I can like look at it from the flip side of, oh, it's a flat ride, whatever, I'm like, it's pretty cool,
Well, I
especially in
think
that
that's actually
location.
something that's nice about flat rides, and
Yeah.
actually goes back to even like your basic amusement park of something that's not fully themed inside a
Hmm.
box. Is that like who doesn't not love like looking at a roller coaster or like
Yeah.
seeing those spinny rides? I mean, the moment you see one of those insane carnival rides that's spinning around, everyone's like, "No way, I'm doing that! That's insane!" I mean, it's providing and producing this emotional response of just seeing this insane contraction, sparkling, glowing,
That's a great
rotating
point.
at you. And
Yeah.
I think so much emphasis is kind of put on that storytelling, right? Within the industry,
Sure.
it's so important of like, what's that story you're telling throughout? And I think the way I like looking at it, especially from that um, guest experience point of view, is what is your personal story you're getting that day? And what is your family adventure that's going through? And I think that canon that I look at is taking it from more of a meta space. So, like, okay, yeah, I'm going through, and maybe I'm getting that beautiful, like, Star Wars tale, whatever, but I'm also
Sure.
with my family being like, oh, I'm looking at my phone, and what are we doing next? And I think, attractions that can capture that eye uh, really just encourage you and provoke that conversation into the larger tale that you have of going to the park that day.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really excellent way to summarize something that I've never quite put a pin on, but it is kind of your own story of your day,
I've
right?
said this before. You're the protagonist. That's what makes the
Yeah,
entertainment different from any other
you're
medium. You're
creating
the
memories.
protagonist.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. But just thinking about it in that way of like, yeah, it does. Like even walking into like a local carnival type experience or a state fair, every time you see the zipper, it's that same like
Yeah.
Dude.
youthful, like,
Oh
look at that
god.
crazy thing. And I
No.
did the zipper once and it was horrible, but like it's fun to look at. You know, like so it is that
Yeah.
similar, you're right. It's like a shared experience of like kind of ooh and ah at stuff. And even if you don't have any intention to experience it.
Okay, fine. Little non sequitur. I just want to get Mike's opinion
Sure.
on this because this is just bringing back an old debate point we had.
Uh-huh.
In that sense of seeing things that draw your eye, right? And you see them. And what's your opinion on Celestial Park?
Celestial part, yeah, in my brain, I actually did want to talk about Epic Universe because they do some of this very well, and they do
Yeah.
other parts of this less well.
Sure.
Um,
I
which,
fucking
like,
told
you
you.
know, I love Epic Universe. Like,
I
my
do too.
coaster
Yeah.
right here is Epic Universe,
Oh,
and
nice.
we were talking. I have Dark Universe pins that I bought here in California because I love that darn park so much.
Mhm.
Beautiful park.
Um, as you're going through Epic Universe during the daytime, specifically Celestial Park,
It's
um,
desolate.
I
Come
I don't know.
on.
I wouldn't say all the way to desolate because it has like nice, like it has a lot of overhanging stuff. The
Mhm.
fountains kind of draw you, but I don't think it quite draws you in such a proud, pronounced way that it really is the sign to go here. You have the wonderful portals to the different
Sure.
worlds.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but largely, and not entirely, because they do have kinetic move or elements on them, but it's not kinetic in the way of like Stardust Racers, where if I'm
Yeah.
walking through Celestial Park and I see Stardust Racers off to the side, that is a beacon of look at this incredible e-ticket thrill ride. And everything
Yeah.
about its architecture and how you have the comet literally protruding at you and the wonderful marquee for the attraction.
I was
Like
gonna
there's the
say I love
marquee,
that marquee.
it's like a
Yeah.
cute little spinning thing, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, this has movement. This has like intensity and
Okay.
speed, and it really draws you in that way. And it works really well, I think, as a motif. But I think to your point, you might get that desolate feel because they're expecting this massive crowd of people going back and forth, and there
Right.
isn't that like huge ride kineticism that really draws you through.
So
Mhm.
I mean to make it my point and why my experience is probably different than both of yours. I didn't have Stardust open when I was
Yeah, it
there.
wasn't open.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it felt desolate because that none of it was moving. It was just it's
Mhm.
the one big thing that's supposed to be the visual anchor almost of the
Mhm.
land is just static
I
and
mean, at
dead.
night too, it's like a whole different beast. That light package is one of the
At night the
greats.
park is great because the
Yeah.
light package carries it. I mean, fucking Constellation Carousel is one of those that's like it's a fun ride. Looking at that thing at night is awesome. I just want to
Yeah.
stare.
Sure.
You
I
know?
think with your point on that, where it struggles maybe is the other side on the opposite end of Celestial Park, where it's kind of the Captain Cacao store and Atlantic over there. That kind of walkway
Oh,
between
that's the big
Nintendo
one.
and Monsters is a little bit barren. But I do think that, as Mike said, they're kind of built with the expectation of just crowds of people walking through it.
Mhm.
And they oddly haven't had that. At least when I was there, everyone kind of goes into the lands, and Celestial's kind of more empty, because it's just so large. I guess maybe it feels that way too.
And I think kind of in that same vein is that, yeah, it's that largeness of a very wide pathway where it's
Right.
Yeah.
hard to get that idea of movement. Where like I don't know about you all, I think I know your opinion, but Dark Universe,
Sure.
Darkmoor, it's actually a fairly static land. You have a few little
Yep.
things moving, but mainly with lighting. But I think the way the architecture works is that they've narrowed down your sight lines so much that
Yep.
even though nothing's moving, just you physically moving through the space
Yeah.
creates that kinetic movement, and you have those really sharp sight lines that go all the way through. And like Burning Blade Tavern
Yes.
and Werewolf excluded from that because I think those are so tucked away in the back and blocked by
Dude,
the rest of the sight line, they don't really count
Burning
to this
Blade doesn't
wayfinding.
Yeah.
exist if you don't know where to go.
Oh
Burning
No,
yeah,
that's
Blade is
yeah.
just is literally not exist. But like what you were saying, it is true. The moment you walk in, you've got that big fountain piece right in the middle, and then you've
Hmm.
got
The
freaking,
graveyard
you
to
know,
the
Frank,
right.
and then you've got Frankenstein's castle in the background looming over,
Mhm.
and it makes it feel like a complete space. You are doing cinema 101, right? Your frame has a foreground, a midground, and a background, and
Right.
it feels like, oh, I'm walking into a fucking painting at this point. And it's the smallest land by a
Oh,
mile,
by
right, of
far,
all of them.
yeah.
But it doesn't feel that, like, you walk in and it just feels so, that first shot of, wow, I remember walking in for the first time and I was like, "Holy shit, this is incredible."
Well,
I
and I
think
think it has
oh yeah, go
like the
ahead.
neighborhood idea really well established because you have that
Yeah,
first graveyard neighborhood, and then you kind
Mhm.
of have the more downtown Darkmoor, right, where you
sure.
got the little gift shops, you have
The restaurant.
the restaurant, and then you have the manor, which
Mhm.
holds its presence as the anchoring thing that kind of controls the land. And I love that it's a bit elevated, a bit put away, because it really does have that sinister presence. But
Absolutely.
then, like, when you go to Burning Blade, yeah, if you don't know where to go, like, you don't find it, and it feels like a whole different land and kind of that outskirts of Darkmoor. Same with like the werewolf ride, where it's like, yeah, if you give me a photo of just the werewolf ride and then like downtown Darkmoor, completely different. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
same universe, but one's kind of a foresty camp, while the other one is like bricks and stones and dark.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a great, I
I
wanna
think
maybe take it past just epic. I'm so curious. Sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanna, like, it's such a good conversation on maybe why some theme parks work so well for us and why some don't.
Yeah.
Because
And
like, I wanna think, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like, to bring it back around to Disneyland California, the thing that reminded me the most of the way the Dark Universe uses the kind of, sight lines and the crowdedness of it feeling, reminded me of Adventureland a lot, the California version, where you kind of first walk in and it's really covered in
Narrow, yeah, it's
vegetation and
crowded,
it's
yeah.
narrow to the point the first time I went to Magic Kingdom, I was like, I don't like how open this feels. Like, I enjoy how crowded and, like, dense the California one is, and, like, you have, like, the bizarre gift shop, and you have, like, the pickle and Bengal barbecue area where people are eating, and then, of course, now you've got the tiki room to the left, like, there's a lot of, it really is similarly laid out, and there's also, like, areas in the back that you wouldn't normally see, and, like, the
Yep.
treehouse and stuff is kinda similar to how Werewolf is sort of off in its own little section. It's just, yeah, I think that's a difference in design, but it's the same idea of, like, it's creating kinetic energy in a way that's almost like stimulating your imagination of projecting the kineticism, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it's so covered and there's so much, it reveals every few steps you take, it's creating that feeling the same way that you get at Epic. Obviously, the land that does kinetic probably the best is Burke, when you walk in the land and there's fire and, the hiccups goes by, where it's like a complete 180 to that, but still in the same feeling. Um,
Well, and so
yeah,
much
it's
of Isle of Berg, I mean, I want to talk about Adventureland, but
of
Isle of
course.
Berg is just like uh everything about it. When I was there, I, and I don't know. Okay, let me collect my thoughts.
Dude, no, it's okay.
Listen,
Isle
dude,
of Berg,
it's the most beautiful theme park land that exists, in my opinion, so.
and I think it also has some of the worst sight lines in
Oh, yeah.
Epic Universe. But
Oh,
you
Sure.
yeah.
don't care about that because the kinetics and the idea of the world of Burke are
Mhm.
so compelling that I don't care that I see Stardust off to the left.
Stardust right
No.
in the back.
Because why would I care about that? If I
'Cause in
am
front of it, Draggers Racers
99.9%,
Rally is going, and it looks amazing, and you're
and
like,
it
"Who
looks amazing.
cares?"
Am I
Yeah.
looking at the armature, the holding the dragons? No, I'm looking
No!
at the dragons and like the
Flying,
cool
yeah.
architecture and the spinning thing in the water. Like
Mhm.
it uses all of that to its advantage. And from the estimating point of view, that is putting money in the right place
Yeah.
because they could have spent so much money on creating barriers and walls and all this other stuff to create a more compelling sight line, which does lead into immersion. But instead, they decided to invest in animatronics and
Mhm.
various kinetic rides that are more
Oh, yeah.
stylized but draw in the audience. And I
Dude,
mean, grava to
Yeah.
that. Grava.
When I was
no,
there was a crowd around the sheep. By Dragon Racers Rally, the little animatronic sheep. There were people, like, taking videos
dude,
and selfies with
I
them.
didn't even notice the sheep
Oh,
until the
really?
second time where I was walking out and I was like, "Holy fuck, there are sheep here, and I had been so distracted just looking at everything else. I mean,
Hmm.
I didn't go on Dragon Racers Rally because I've been on that kind of. I don't care about that kind of ride. I'm glad it's there. I went on a little boat ride, a little fire drill. It's not a great ride, but it looks
It's
great
so
from
nice to
a
look
distance.
at,
It's
though.
so nice
I
to look
enjoyed
at.
just standing on the little bridge over there, just
Oh
watching it
yeah,
go. Like I
it's
was like, I'm
better.
getting more out of this than I probably would be on it.
100%. As somebody who went
Yeah,
on it, I was like, this could just be scenic elements, and I'd be happy. I don't even care.
I
And
Yeah,
got
it
because I
very
what
went on
into
that ride,
models, and I almost
and
wanted the
yeah,
model.
no, but
yeah,
kind
I
of to
mean,
that point of the original thesis of all this is like,
Yeah,
yeah, multiple ways to experience that land, whether you're on the ride or on the pathway or even looking at it on a video or whatever. You enjoy all of that so much because it's moving, because it's kinetic, because you're seeing other people have their own tail over there
yep.
and you put yourself in their place. Like it's so
yeah,
visible and
yeah.
that's so compelling. I love it.
Okay,
Hmm.
I want to talk about a bad then. I kind of I want to do this thing of like I like kind of like thinking if that's okay with you guys, just doing a few great and a few bad who do this well,
Oh yeah.
just to see the comparisons of
Sure.
what works and what doesn't. And we have criticized this fucking land to death, I think, at this point. But I want to get Mike's opinion because he knows design more than I think either of us do. Is I think Galaxy's Edge is the antithesis to
Ooh.
Burke. It is the foil.
It does have pretty
I know.
incredible sight lines, though. I will say
But but
that.
but why doesn't it I don't know. I don't ever feel like like when I first went, I wanted to spend time there because I just thought it was big and cool.
It's very
But
dense.
dude, I don't spend I go there, I'll get food, I'll go on Rise of the Resistance, and I will fuck off.
Well, it's the
That
illusion
is
of density, actually, maybe is a better way to put that.
I don't know,
Yes.
but I feel like everything Gastro's describing, where is any of that in Galaxy's Edge? Tell me. Like what you're like saying, all this money that is spent on drawing you in and having animatronics and things that can make it visually compelling versus just investing in making the sightline look perfect. This is exactly what Mike was just saying. I think Galaxy's Edge is the opposite, is what he's saying, what they didn't do and put their money in the other way.
Maybe.
And I think that's the issue that I have with that. That land is just, it's not, it's just like, it's a theme park land. You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
feel a story happening when I'm there. That's me. Maybe it's different for you, but I don't know. I just lost the wonder once I got over the scale of it.
I think it kind of goes back towards the theming of Star Wars in a way where so much of that compelling movement and stuff does take place off world, whether you're in a ship
Hmm.
or something or you're
Sure.
going through that like a flight. I mean, I this is a controversial opinion, so hate me if you do, but I love Rise of the Resistance for many reasons, but I do think it's a little overrated because
Oh,
when
we've
I'm
had this.
looking for the emotions of Star Wars, I'm looking for like flips and turns and flips and bobs. And although you get the narrative excitement at Rise of the
Sure.
Resistance, it nails that, especially with the tech and the occasional drop. When I had the pleasure of going to Disneyland Paris and I got to do their Hyperspace Mountain there, which again,
Oh,
that's like
nice.
Hyperspace Mountain. I had no expectations because I was like, Hyperspace Mountain, it's an overlay. And yet
Sure.
on that ride, I was like, oh, I'm in an X-Wing doing flips and turns, inversions and lefts and right, all of that.
And the
And
music's
the
going too,
emotional
right?
palette matched the experience that I want in the theme. And I think with
So
that
so
land being so expansive and beautiful, you have those cinematic sight lines that you get in Star Wars, but you don't have that same emotional and physical vocabulary that our minds automatically associate with Star Wars.
Mm.
do you does I got two questions for you with this. One is Rise of the Resistance. But I had a conversation earlier about this where I was like, I think that's the ride that the more it ages and the more the impressiveness of the new shiny toy aspect wears away, the more it's like it becomes stale. I think that does that get. I don't know. I feel like it's a ride where I know all the beats. Maybe I've been on it to death at this point. It's like one of the ones I still always go on it. I still love it. It's
Well,
just
sure,
like
yeah.
the beats become very predictable after a while. I think is my thing. It's like okay, you have some wow moments and then some that just get so boring so fast. A lot of it is just you're running through corridors. That is like probably 60% of that attraction is you are on a cool tech, cool ride vehicle going through corridors on a spaceship. Which I mean, if you're a diehard fan, I get it. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's not a correct opinion on my end, but like I'm like, all right. big beat, right? Is the first time you pull out and you see the other droid. That's a fun one. When they start shooting at you, sure, you get that for the first time, and you got the big reveal of the two AT-ATs in that room. Elevator up is fun, but you're still just seeing the same room from a different vantage point, and it's not that different. You're just either going it, it's not like you're going in the backside of them. You're just kind of seeing like, okay, the front or whatever. Then you have more corridors. You got another elevator. That's not even an elevator with the Kylo Ren, and yeah, there's a neat
Mhm.
effect. There's a neat effect, with the lightsaber, but and then I guess you could call the other big beat the Kylo animatronic, but that's just the animatronic. It's not like a crazy. It's a very impressive figure, and it's fun when the thing blows up and he gets sucked out when that actual. Oh, I forgot about the cannons. That's fun, I guess. I
I
don't
love the
know. A
games.
lot
They're
of it
fun.
just feels it. I think I loved it a lot more before I did Ministry and before I did Monsters
Monsters.
Unchained. And those
Sure.
those two rides were like, oh, you guys figured out, because Ministry for me was like, oh, scale and animatronics built into action on screens, which is like why I love that ride so much. I know we have different opinions on that, Spence, but like I
I
adore
like
that
it. I
ride.
didn't say I didn't like it. I
I
like
love
it.
that ride. I loved it. I
I
loved
just
it.
like monsters more.
Oh, I like monsters more too. Nothing will ever
Yeah.
touch monsters. And then you have monsters just like, hey, here's a bunch of really cool figures and set pieces, but everything is moving and there is constantly action happening.
Mhm.
There's no calm beats in monsters. I don't think there's a moment where you stop. I don't know. So I just go on there. I just think it's like there is a lot of dead space between the beats, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. That just makes it not as comprehensive as an experience once you've done it a few times. That was a rant.
That was quite a
Yeah,
rant.
and I think you have a lot of good points, and I agree with a lot of them. Uh, because I am a little bit more critical about Rise of the Resistance. Um, that being said, I think it deserves a lot of credit
Oh,
for
sure.
what they're able to do with the ride vehicles they selected.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and I think given the ride vehicles they had, they made the best attraction they did. Um, I'm also a bit of a trackless hater in that I think
Oh.
most rides that um, use
Use
the
it.
trackless technology don't need to use the trackless technology. And I
Oh, yeah.
firmly believe that
Ratatouille, baby.
Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters is the best use of trackless out there. Um, and I think
Have
every
you
other ride could probably be done a little bit better with the benefits and cost savings you get from tracked. Because as soon as
Okay,
you go
but have
trackless,
you
like costs skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's all Wi-Fi based. It's right. It's
So
the internet.
Wi-Fi, you're now
It's
investing a lot
satellite
in
imaging, yeah.
batteries. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, let's say we change Rise of Resistance to a tracked ride, and you have, for the most part, the same scenes, but now you're able to have a motion base. Maybe think like Transformers or something, right?
Sure,
Sure.
sure,
Where you're
sure.
able
The
to
scoop,
really
baby.
have that like vocabulary, the dynamic vocabulary of Star Wars. Again, you're running, you're going, and like with the droids they have, they're cute, but they also are like they're not running, they're like briskly walking, right? And
Mhm.
in Star Wars, I need that energy of like going away, which is why I think like the principal moment is when you do feel those speeds on the rides, like the drop. Yeah, now I feel like I'm in Star Wars for that drop
Yeah.
because I just had that like, oh shoot, I'm running away type feeling in my gut. And I think it's
Mhm.
that kind of juxtaposition where it's like what I'm going through right now feels intimidating, feels really like, oh, we're gonna get it. And then you're going at a brisk walking pace, you know. I I think your mind just kind of comes to a little bit of a disagreement there. And I think
Oh, very
that's
good
what
point.
I've really determined as like my biggest pet peeve with
Mm.
Rise of the Resistance is just that little bit of like it conflicts with like the thematics of Star Wars versus the execution of the ride,
That's a great
and the
point.
Yeah.
ride system you select, which is like so important. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way about Mario Kart, right? Like the obvious
Oh,
is as much as I like
oh,
have
Mario
mixed
Kart.
feelings, like I like it I liked it a lot the first time I went on, but I almost respect it as an ambitious like swing with the AR technology and all that, more so that I enjoy riding it. And the common criticism you hear from, the average guest and online and reviews and forums and whatnot is, why wasn't it a roller coaster? Why doesn't it go fast? And it's like I can't like really fight that opinion because like it is valid in the same way you say like the thematics of Star Wars, and that's really interesting. And I'm thinking about Hyperspace Mountain when the music's playing and you feel like you're in a
Oh, dude, it's
like in
fucking
a dog
amazing.
fight. You're like, oh, this
Yeah.
is That is a really good point. And with Mario Kart, right?
Okay,
Like if you could hit get a mushroom and like speed up, even if you're using like a scoop, right? Or you're using an EMV, like there are ways to have done that as opposed to, is it trackless? It's not trackless, but
No,
it's
it's
like,
track.
no, it's a
but it's
classic.
like a dark ride vehicle. It's
It's a
not,
dark
there's
ride
not like
vehicle.
elements
Yeah.
to it like that.
Same
So
thing as it's like the next evolution before the company went out of business of MIB. So
right,
same sort of
exactly.
thing
Oh
as
my
that.
god, I
Good
do
point.
not like my babe. Um,
I do, but
um,
whatever.
You just
I
gotta
know.
shoot yourself, and then you get all the points, and you spin around a lot. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's gonna go with? Okay, the only trackless ride where I said the tech works really well is Pooh's Honey Hunt. Have you done that, Mike?
I have not done that, so hold my reservations there. I know the
That's
room where
maybe
it's
the
supposed
best
to work
dark
well.
ride like in the world, dude. That's like a crazy high. But also it was the first, wasn't it? It was like in 2000 or
No, but
something.
like,
Yeah, they
dude,
knocked it out the first try.
Yeah, it's like
but
Spider-Man with the scoop. Like nothing
but
else has
the
really
beats
captured that.
there it feels like the different paths feel unique because you do
Hmm.
diverge. You have the bouncing room. You've got it feels
That's
perfect.
the coolest part is the how it weaves in and out with Maddox of Pooh. When you're jumping
Ex-
with Tigger and the
yeah.
wind is blowing through and the tree is going back and forth and you're like sliding across the room like you're in the wind, that's pretty sweet.
No, that one, and then there's the worst use, which in my opinion is Ratatouille. Why the fuck is Ratatouille a darkless ride? What is
Darkless.
Ratatouille?
It's
Darkless,
dark.
Trackless.
a trackless ride. I have so
Dude,
much beef with
it's
Ratatouille
all
as a ride.
for that first scene where you kick off from the load platform and the mice do a little duet with each other and then you scatter in. It's all for that like little visual right there, and I love it so much for
I
that.
was gonna
I
say
love
that's
it
a pretty
so
sweet
much for that.
visual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the rest of the ride is just the scoop. Is just a scoop ride with some cool set pieces. I
Yeah.
Ratatouille. You could have Epcot. You could have just tried to fix some of the problems. The Ferris. Never mind. That's a whole other fucking thing.
Man, we're
Um.
finding your
Oh,
rabbit holes
Toby.
right here.
Yes, we are. Well, I was gonna say, um, like Space Mountain, right? When it starts and you're in the loading area, and even when you're in that kind of like
Oh,
long hallway down and you see the load and unload, that itself is that same experience of entering a theme park and seeing a flat ride that we talked
oh,
about
yeah.
earlier, where
How
you're
often
like
do you like just
seeing
get stuck in the line and then the person behind you is like, "Hey, buddy," and then like you see the entire platform in front of you just empty
yeah,
because you're so transfixed with those ride vehicles
with
Oh
the
my
pulling
god.
you.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and it's that is a use of kinetics and scenic and atmosphere, right? That is like the build up to getting on the ride versus it works really well for the storytelling with Rise of the Resistance. Like it's kind of sudden, um,
Well,
so you're
one
kind of
of
like just
actually
dropped
back to
into
Space
it.
Mountain, one of what that
Yeah.
actually really does in such a brilliant way, it teaches everyone in that line what they're about to do. So
Yes.
operationally, when they're down there, they just spent the last 10 minutes looking at the thing they're
Watching
about to
people
do,
load
It's
and
which is get
unload.
genius.
That's
on that ride
genius.
really
Yeah.
fast, put the lap bar down and go. Like
Yeah.
it has that added benefit from the op side. And I used to be a ride operator at Hershey Park. So like
I was
uh
a ride operator at Disney.
right, we get
Yeah.
it where it's like some
Yeah.
rides when they're designed really well, like a Space Mountain, where people are able to see what they're able to do, the signage is really clear, they're able to get in really fast and just go junk junk junk.
It's
It's
a
a
dream.
beautiful day to operate. And
Yeah.
on the other side of that coin, when it's not that, and you're 6 foot tall on Mini Pirate at Hershey Park with no shade, and kids don't know how to use a buckle, so you got to buckle them in every single time, it's pretty horrible.
West Coast
I was gonna
Racers.
say we were in line at Magic Mountain for West Coast Racers, and I was just like, I always do this because I'm a pretentious jerk, but I was like clowning the operations. I was like, how are they not getting people in this faster? It's just a seatbelt, meh. And we get there, and like it's the leather.
The comfort
You
collars.
had yes, comfort collars, and I was like, this is confusing, and there's no like signage or anything that prepares you for it. You just sit down and you're like, is this a fishing hook? Like, what am I fastening into
Well,
right
the
now?
load station's not even at the same place
You
as
can't
the
even
queue.
see it. No,
The
you go
queue's
up to it.
downstairs and the load station's upstairs.
Yeah, it's such a poorly laid out queue. That
Well,
being said, the roller coaster's fine. Like it's fun, but it's
It's
just the
very fun.
antithesis of that. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, I had to get my credit, so we waited
Sure.
2.5 hours
The
for that.
credit is the credit, and the credit is
The
the
credit
credit.
is a
You know,
credit.
What's I gonna say? I mean, another ride that does that really well. Not so much in the like seeing what to do in the operation standpoint, but from getting you in is my favorite dark ride of all time. Pirates of the Caribbean, baby.
Oh,
Disneyland's
sure.
oh,
Pirates of the Caribbean. You walk into that show building you see the ride vehicles coming in with the parrot talking, and then you're in that world before you're in the show building before you even
Hmm.
sit down. Like that, that was my theme park awakening. I think was that ride. It
Sure.
was like walking in and being like, "Holy shit, it's nighttime!
Hmm.
How? Where am I? I'm in a swamp." But the ride hasn't even started yet. What's going on?
Well, and I
I
love
just
the
want to
little
live
trick
in
they
there.
play of showing people at the end of the ride after they just had a
Hmm.
killer time on Pirates of the Caribbean, and they're all
Yeah.
like they're all chatty. They just got to go through a cool
They've
thing.
got that like post-ride glow,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they're just,
It's like
yeah.
you don't look better than you do at the end of Pirates of the Caribbean to come around that corner, do that like last little dip, and you're like, oh yeah, I just did that ride.
Yeah, and like one of the most
Yeah.
beautiful theme park restaurants is to your right, and you see like these gorgeous candlelit tables, and you're like, I just want to live in here. Like this
Have
is
you ever had
great.
the pleasure of eating uh waterside at Blue Bayou?
Dude,
It's yeah,
I've eaten at Blue Bayou. I've never eaten Waterside.
it's pretty amazing.
I've the one time I got to go there was like high school. Yeah, it's just great. And you just kind of, you don't even have to have a conversation with the people you're with. You just kind of look at the boats going by, you know, and
Yeah,
and you're at peace.
it is the atmosphere, which is what we're
Yeah.
talking about, and that we've come back around to. But it's that atmosphere, right? I've always thought like inside the Blue
Oh my
Bayou and
god.
that little store and like the loading area is almost like a little mini land inside. It kind of feels that way.
Yeah, it's
Like
amazing.
it
I'm
really is something
Well, and
else.
I know they're
also
not super common here in the United States, but the idea of a fully indoor land is definitely
Sure.
a more common
Oh yeah,
idea overseas.
Yeah, the only one I've seen is the Little Mermaid in
Little Mermaid in Tokyo
Tokyo.
Disney Sea.
Tokyo
Well, and
I've
obviously the
Disney.
land, but
But, like, if you also look like go
Hey,
to,
don't
what,
fucking shit on the
Dubai or whatever,
land.
and you
I'm
have,
not.
Movie
Oh,
World,
tons. Yeah, and
yeah,
motion
it's
gates
fun to
indoors
operate
too.
outside, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I always find it limiting, like the videos I've seen of Warner Brothers Movie World Abu Dhabi, like the Batman area, that Batman Night Flight's supposed to be a pretty amazing attraction, but it's just hard when you have indoor ceilings. I mean, I've been to an indoor theme park actually, now that I think about it. I went to Sanrio Land in Japan, so that's
Did
like
you
the
go
Hello
to,
Kitty theme park.
Horror Unleashed?
Not yet. No, I
Oh,
haven't
We have
yet.
both been to Horror Unleashed, and we had similar opinions. I
So
think.
I'll be
we do.
in
It's
Vegas for
technically an indoor
Christmas.
theme park.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I'll be in Vegas for Christmas, and I get to go see it then.
Oh,
So
definitely worth checking it out. Make sure
yeah,
you open up that bar tab and keep the drinks flowing. Um,
yes, I'm sure.
What? Okay. What's another land, Mike, that does this well? What's another place that you've seen that you really admire? I have one that I love, but I'm gonna wait. I already talked about two now, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Let somebody
I'm
else
gonna
talk.
say like most log rides that exist do this
Oh
really
yeah,
well, and like
Oh my
other
god.
flume attractions. I
because that
remember at Hershey
drop is
Park we
always
had a
out in
really
the
big
open.
one where it had the added thing of like when that boat came down the plunge, it sent a wall of water into the path and would
Yeah.
just like absolutely soak anyone in the way. So it's like you're not only like seeing these poor individuals get absolutely drenched, but you also have the chance of getting absolutely drenched. And it's like you now form the bond. And like I think similar thing with Islands of Adventure, the water rides they have over there that are like Popeye themed, where guests can go
Hmm.
in and press a button and soak the people on the ride. It's all that like fun with water where you're seeing people like bob on by and they're getting wet. You might get wet. You might be able to get them wet. And there's just something so presentational about water and the fact that it is, I think, a little bit unpredictable. And usually the trope of those rides is, how wet are you going to get? And
Right.
you get to
The
see
whole
people live
ride,
that
there's that
out. It's brilliant.
creeping fear. Yeah. No, for
Exactly.
sure. And they
And
do
like,
such a great job, like you said, like every drop is visible. Even Jurassic Park, like but when it was in Hollywood and now it's Jurassic World,
yeah.
and in River Adventure, in well, that's actually what the River Adventure doesn't do well in Florida is you can't
No,
see it.
it's so tucked away.
Yeah, but in Hollywood, like even when you're coming down the escalator, all you're seeing is those boats come shooting down, and like the giant wave crest, and you're like, I got to do that.
And if you don't see it, you definitely hear it because
You
it's
hear
loud.
it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's super loud, and there's just that giant. I mean, like it's the most simple queue in the world, but you walk through that Jurassic Park gate, and you're like, I'm in. Let's do it.
Well, and then you
Oh,
have like I mean like Splash Mountain,
Oh
Tiana's
yeah.
or whatever, which I think for like I've listened to Tony Baxter on a podcast talk about this when he was designing Splash, is that that whole drop is designed to make you anticipate fear.
Yeah.
So then you can have, as a kid, going and conquering that experience,
Oh,
that
100%.
formative emotional drive, which I don't think Tiana quite hits like in that same
No, it does
emotional
not.
sense,
It's
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
Slash
Tiana's
it
whole
has
builds
a path.
problem.
impending
Yeah.
doom really well. Like that's the
That's Tiana's
whole.
whole problem. Tiana has
Hmm.
no stakes whatsoever.
I can think of a few more problems it has, but I'll keep them to myself.
Hey,
Yeah.
No,
but
and
look
like
at
that
these
ride
cool
does a lot of things
animatronics.
really well, and it also doesn't quite meet the bar on a few other things, being hypercritical about it.
Yeah.
My favorite log flume placement, I'm gonna say, has to be Timber Mountain Log Ride. Very that dude, the where that thing is placed. I mean,
Yeah.
during we were all there during Scary Farm
Oh, yeah.
when it's all decked out and you've got it's nighttime and it wasn't even operating when we were
The
there.
jack-o'-lanterns lining the queue. Yeah.
Dude,
It's
And it's
remember
perfect.
just
when they
like
used to
it's
put the skull on the top of the mountain? They stopped doing
Yes,
yeah.
that
that,
was so
dude. Oh, it was
cool.
so good.
And
Yeah.
that thing almost it's like in the heart of the theme park. So it's really cool just to walk around. Ghost Town is amazing. We can talk about Ghost Town because Ghost Town doesn't really need rides to do what it does. It's just Ghost Town. Um,
Ghost
but
Town is
that
an attraction on its own. That's just
Oh, yeah.
atmosphere, right? It
that's what
is, right? It's an open
Well,
air
and then you
market.
have like Ghost Town Alive, which adds like a whole other
dude.
layer to that, where it's like you don't even have to have moving buildings. You have actors that are now encouraging that kineticism and engaging with the audience in that own way. And
Yeah.
Ghost Town Alive is so brilliant. I mean, I've some friends who are actors, and I know some of the people who produce it. And I love talking to them about it because it is like my favorite thing to do in the summer. And if I have friends visiting and they're like, "What should I do, Disney or Knott's?" I'm like, "For Ghost Town Alive, go to Knott's."
Go to
Because
Knott's,
if
yeah.
you're a themed entertainment or theater or improv fan, you will get
It's
so much
incredible.
more out of just like going around doing like crazy tasks at Ghost
Mhm.
Town Alive.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like
Um,
I talked about it with our Scary Farm episode during Halloween. Kind of about like one of the genius things about it is how free the actors are. There's so much restriction with Universal when IP's involved and whatnot. You can't really be as freewheeling with it. And the thing with Scary Farm is how those characters are just like refined year after year. It is like you said, it's theater improv. Like you're not gonna get a much better experience at a haunt than Scary Farm actors at Knott's. Like that's
I mean,
just
and the
top tier.
atmosphere of Ghost Town during Knott's.
Yeah.
Name a
Oh,
better one.
Oh,
Oh wait, name a better
yeah.
atmosphere than
No,
Ghost Town.
there isn't
Seriously.
one.
I
Yeah.
was thinking, I was hoping maybe Potter with the
Death Eaters.
Death Eaters and like if they decked it out, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe Potter during Christmas, but that's like already built in. So it's I don't
Sure.
know, but it's
No, I
not the
think
same,
yeah,
dude.
no.
It
No.
is
Well, and Ghost Town has the
masterful.
fog. The
Yeah,
fog makes it. It just it's so good.
for
It's so
sure.
good.
Yeah.
All right, one of you guys, let's go on. But flumes in general, yes, they're just
Flumes
amazing.
are
And
are some of the most perfect uses of this of the scenic atmosphere
That's
building.
my
And even
favorite
like we
land.
said,
Flumes.
yes, favorite land is Flumes. No, that's
flumes,
that's like my one critique of Epic is they need a log ride.
they need
They
any water
Any boat
ride.
ride.
It gets hot.
yeah, they need a boat
My
ride.
lord, it
Well,
gets hot.
Although
a
they do
boat ride
technically
that
have
isn't like
one.
the boat ride that they have that will just ruin your day with how wet you
Yeah.
get.
The boat ride
Um,
that is more fun to ride than look at.
yeah.
Um, even
You
though
don't even
I
get that
think
wet.
it's gorgeous. Really?
Yeah, I didn't get that wet.
Oh,
What?
it looks
I was
You're doing
thrilled.
it wrong.
absolutely soul crushingly drenching.
Toby, if you want to get wet, go like two boats behind a couple of like children, and you will be very wet. You will not know how wet you can get until you go on this ride. I'm not kidding. There are so many angles of this ride where the little whippersnapper children
Whippersnappers.
will just like home in on you, and it is just nothing but wet. And then you turn the
And
corner and they can't get you, but you can get them, and nothing is more satisfying than that.
Mm.
What you need to do is get a group of like 30 people, so then you have like three boats back to back to back, and
and you
then
can
you're
all
all
kill
just
each
like
other.
ruining each other's day in the best way possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, the
Well, okay.
Universal loves that ultra drenching, like with Popeyes, when the bucket
Dudley
of
do
water flips on
rights.
you and they're just like, have fun. But
I'm the person who
no,
actually says if you're going to do a water ride, get them wet.
sure,
That is the critique I have with a lot of water rides, especially on like a 90-degree day.
yeah,
But
Did you
also at
get
the
to
same
do
time, when I went on that same water ride at like 8 p.m., I didn't really want to get that wet. So
yep.
Did you get to do Sapphire Fall? What's it called? Something Falls, SeaWorld Orlando. Their new weird water flume thing they built. It's not a flume. It's a raft ride. I walked by it. There was a long line. I didn't feel like waiting for it, so I didn't do it when I was there.
I've been on like the
Uh,
raft ride at SeaWorld San Diego, which is fun.
Yeah, the Shipwreck Falls or
that's a
whatever it's
fun one. That's a
called.
nice one. That's actually themed. No, this one's not themed at all. This one's like it just
No.
has an elevator mech. It's an elevator mech. It's a fairly
Ooh.
new. Yeah, the whole gimmick is that it's
You're
an
not talking
elevator.
about Journey to Atlantis, right?
No, dude, come on.
Is it Infinity Falls?
Infinity Falls. There you go.
Okay. I was like, Journey to Atlantis was high tech, 25 years ago.
Hey, I have love for Journey to Atlantis. Okay.
Me
Let's
too.
talk about what's a
A good
bad.
one. Oh,
Oh,
we just
we
did.
said good.
Oh, we just did
You said-
good.
Yeah, what's a bad?
Bad use of atmosphere
Bad
and
use.
scenic and whatnot. Oh, that's interesting.
I love talking about the bad because the bad's how you see how the good works good and the bad works bad.
That's true.
That
That's
made total
true.
sense.
No, I mean, you don't appreciate the good without the bad, of course.
What's
Let me
not
think.
so good?
What's not a good use of atmosphere? And oh, here's a one that'll bounce off into a good one that maybe is controversial for Mike. I'm not sure. Flight of Passage. I think that entire ride is like sold just on the land itself and like how beautiful Pandora is. The actual attraction atmosphere is non-existent.
I actually fully believe the opposite of that.
Really? Wow.
Fully. I truly believe that entire land leans on that attraction to be its emotional and like
crazy.
kinetic
Ooh.
core, because
Dude,
so much of that land,
no.
besides a few waterfalls, is kind of a little bit too static. I mean, I love it. I love Pandora. I
That's
love
what I'm
being there
saying,
and
though. I
riding in
think
there.
that the land is
It
too static because the ride is indoors, is what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, in that front, then yes. Like it could
okay.
use a little something or other going there. But like I love that ride. It's so just emotionally great. And like
Mm.
someday they'll learn how to like focus their projectors so the spores like aren't like blurry. That annoys me
Yeah.
so much. I'm like, what? Um, but
So do you not like Navi? Because I was gonna bounce that into a good one that I love Navi River Journey because it's just atmosphere and vibes.
it's fine.
Oh, it's
I think
Okay,
if I had
okay.
like
This
an
is
extra
this is
100 feet of track, it would be great.
It's too
no.
short.
See,
That your take?
Yeah.
this is where
Yeah,
I
it is
flip, dude.
short.
Here's my hot take. I would rather get on Navi than get on Flight of Passage.
So would I.
No. No way.
I
No
don't
way.
love Flight of Passage. It's like Flight of Passage is like fun for the first 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, when it's like, oh, I'm on a thing. I'm on a
Yeah.
Banshee.
Well, that's
Oh, I
what I'm
transported
saying,
in.
man. Like
And then I'm
when
like,
you're
I'm on Soren.
when it's
Cool.
the extended queue and you're snaking through like the hills and valleys of
Pretty
Pandora.
bad.
I
Yeah.
think that's like the most beautiful part. And then you get inside and you don't see anything for so long. And they're obviously really great animatronic. But once you get into the ride room, to me it's like very underwhelming. It just looks like a rocking horse that you sit on. And then it obviously, when the ride starts. But like you walk in the room and there's not like a grand reveal, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's like a very like there isn't and there is a grand reveal.
Sure.
Like the fact that and spoilers for anyone who hasn't been on the ride. Bad
You've
1
had like
minute.
10 years, dude, at this
Yeah.
point.
Hey, my parents haven't been on it yet. That's like and they really want to go on it. And
The
like
line is still
advertising
so
wise, that's
long
what they've
all the
been on it.
time.
But
Yeah.
it's like the reveal of like again, it's the small to big. You're on a stupid little rocking chair. You have a gray wall in front of you.
Right.
The room goes dark, and then boom, the entire world of Pandora is in front of you.
That part is
That
great.
is the reveal. And as
Undeniably.
you said, the first 5 seconds you're on there, holy smokes, I'm in Pandora.
Right.
And then I like my little screen-based attractions like that, and I love the little like galloping and the breathing. And I
Oh,
think it
sure.
has a very fun motion profile as you're kind of galloping along. That does add some like nice intensity. And when it's in focus at that one spore scene, I think it's really spectacular.
I mean, the spore scene is, it's unbelievable. Especially
really
the first
cool.
time you ride it. It's so overwhelming.
But it's also out of
Um,
focus. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
That's like where I
Hey,
would, because I think when you're in the Navi queue, like, it's a
that
little
queue
more
sucks,
done
dude.
up. What, the Flight of the Passage queue or Navi?
No, the Navi queue.
Yeah. But like, you've got like, I like the little thatch or whatever roofing. But I don't think So go ahead.
I've only fast passed that thing. I've
Oh,
never waited
really?
in it.
Oh, I've
So
waited
if
in it.
I don't know if I was waiting in it, how I would feel about this attraction. That's the
I've
thing,
done it
though. I've
once,
never.
and I
I've
waited
just.
about 10 minutes for it, and I was very happy I waited 10 minutes for it.
I just think that that the Flight of Passage, the atmosphere, the land just does so much heavy lifting for it. But you're right. I mean, that first reveal of the first 5 seconds of the ride is, one of the more breathking experiences
Yes,
you'll
but then it
have.
goes stale.
That's
I'm
where I agree,
sorry.
and that's where he
It
does it.
goes stale.
I
It gets
disagree.
so
I like it.
stale.
Well, and
Yeah.
I've only done that
No.
ride twice, so I might still have a little bit of a jaded lens. And it definitely did not hit as hard as that first time you go on that whole
Sure.
experience. But I love it so much.
I
It's
mean,
fun.
you are clearly in the majority. Toby and I's opinion
That's
on
fair.
that is very much the minority opinion, especially ours of preferring Navi River Journey, which I think most people would slap
Dude,
us.
if
Um,
I
it
could
was like more
just
like just be utterly confused.
just bewilderment. Yeah.
listen,
Like
no,
it
no,
had so
no.
little there. Like, I
It's
think
vibes.
I think if you were to do a ranking list of all the C ticket attractions that have ever existed, it would be in the S tier of C ticket attraction. Um,
Fuck
It's
you.
but
the
if you're
S tier,
ranking it up
C
against like
tier.
Monsters Unchained, Flight of Passage,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Everest,
no shit.
Mansion, like you go like against the e-ticket like daddies out there, like it's not
But
standing
that's
a
not what it
chance.
is. Okay, but like,
Everest
dude,
is the
like,
best one in the park, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for
yes,
that.
me
Oh,
too.
without a doubt, Everest. Oh,
Yeah.
king.
The
Yeah.
Okay.
looming like fear in
Oh,
the
dude.
queue and just walk
You
into
want
the park.
you want
It's
a
You
ride
see
holy
that
the
does it
train
grail.
go
well?
up. You see the train come down.
Everest.
Yeah. Everest
Everest
is
does it. Everest kills
shocking.
the thing. No, but like, okay, here's my thing.
A
This is a
ride
non
that's
sequitur.
main technological piece has been broken 6 months since it opened is still just absolutely incredible. It's a tour de force of
But
Joe
hear me out.
Rohde.
Guys.
Disco Yeti does its job so well. It does its
Absolutely
job
does its
so
job.
well.
Absolutely does its job.
Like
Plus,
the
we
fact
already
that every like 2 years people are like, did they fix the Yeti? No, they didn't. You
No.
just aren't actually able to see it move that much.
Yeah. And it
Plus, guys,
completely is still terrifying.
Yeah.
It's
we got the
still
Yeti.
scary.
We got the Yeti now with Wolfman and Monsters Unchained. He does the exact
Pretty
same
much.
motion.
Yeah.
You do.
He's a
And
furry
big.
monster. Does the exact same motion. It's there. You go.
Ah.
There's your Yeti.
Except the Yeti's like two
okay.
times the size, but yeah.
Okay, yes. But here's my
Four.
point. My point with Navi, though, man. Let me just tell you. It's just the
Try to sell me on
vibes.
Navi.
We can't
It's
quit
just
it.
the vibes. It's just the vibes,
It
man.
is the most
It's just
beautiful attraction in the world.
I just want to
think.
sit, dude. If I had a joint and I smoked it right before that, and I just got to sit there and
Sure.
contemplate my life, I would come out with some kind of breakthrough.
How
You
many
know?
hours were you at Nomad's Lounge before you hit Navi River? Not that far of a walk, Toby. I know. You're probably down
No,
a few of
it's
them
not.
drinks, some of them drinks at Nomad's, and then you
And
go
I'm
there
just
and you're like,
like-
this was great.
I'm like, dude, I love this fucking. This is so good, man. I fucking love this.
that is my whole And for instance, or for reference, Mike, Animal Kingdom is my favorite theme park in the world. So I have lots of like hot takes and loving takes and
Animal
of all
Kingdom
shapes
is
and
my
sizes.
favorite of the Disney World parks.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
my ranking of Orlando is like Islands of Adventure, Epic, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
those are my top three.
Yeah, me too.
Epic
Um,
Universe is about, I think, 2 expansions out from number 1.
I
It'll
would
get
agree
there,
with that.
but it needs a
Yeah.
couple expansions.
Once
Oh, so
they
you put Islands over Epic now, Spence? I thought you had it.
Oh,
Islands
no,
is
no,
like
no, no.
30
But I
years
put
old
Animal
and has
Kingdom
had a few
above it.
expansions and like has settled, like you know what it is. Epic Universe, as many of the points you bring up, it still needs time to settle, and like it has the bones of it will become my number 1. I'm sure. It just
Yeah.
needs to like age a little bit and have an expansion or two
It's
with
not.
another killer
Yeah.
ride.
The
No,
more
I was
think
saying
about
it's my
it-
top.
Yeah,
Those are
sorry.
my top 3. I still think Epic is better, just based on the attraction like punt pack. What's the word
Man.
I'm looking for? The punches it packs
I
to
love
the
IOA
attractions.
so much.
So I love IOA too. I love IOA way more than I ever thought I would. But I do like when I first went there, like I just didn't expect to be floored by it the way I was. But I do really love Epic Universe. Basically for Burke and Darkmoor on their own, but
I
Hey,
enjoy the
Potter.
Potter
Don't give
area
Potter
actually
Sure.
quite a lot. I was very surprised when I went how much I enjoyed the Potter area.
me too.
Because I was
Yeah.
going into it being like very grumpy, like this is the antithesis of everything I stand for, like ride design wise. Like
Yeah.
it has
Yep.
one big attraction with a bunch of shops and dining, And then I got there and I'm like, these shops and dining are absolutely lovely.
awesome.
The wands
Yeah.
Their
are fun,
attractions.
and the ride is really good. And I
The
was like,
best theme
okay,
park breakfast in the world is at La Café de Seren, however you say it.
yeah.
That
What did you get
breakfast is
there?
incredible.
I got
I
breakfast
got
there. What'd you get?
I got the like egg mashed potato thing with bread. That thing crushes. What did you get? Did you not like it?
I got a ham and cheese baguette, and I was ecstatic. I was so
Okay,
happy.
good. Yeah, that place is legit.
I love how
Uh,
all of us are like, yeah, all these great lands, and then just like, oh yeah, Nintendo is there.
well, it's because we've all experienced it
Okay,
before.
okay, but within Nintendo, back to this. What's better, main Nintendo or DK Universe?
DK
DK,
Universe by a fucking mile.
Yeah, because
DK,
it's got a ride ripping through that land, and everyone loves
100%.
it.
Oh, yeah,
And
dude,
there's so much excellent kinetic energy in the Mario section too, with the like animatronics and
Yeah.
the bricks or the power up boxes. I always forget what they're called. I'm more of like a Zelda person than Mario. Sorry, everyone. But the DK section is like the better versions of what I just said. There's better like mini games. The Rhino that comes out is like a killer animatronic versus the
Well,
like fairly limited piranha plants, and you have a roller coaster jumping track.
and
I think the
and
fact is that
the
you're able
score.
to resonate it with it more because you see people interacting with it in a way that I don't think you see as much in Nintendo world. Where like
Yeah.
again, the animatronics are incredible. I love the kinetics there. And like as far as like this idea of like, oh yeah, getting kinetic energy in the land, it is one of the best ones in the world because of
Oh,
all
for sure.
that.
Undoubtedly.
The difference is that in DK, it's so much more visible of seeing how you can how you can step into the
Oh,
land and interact with it, like whether you're a rider or a person playing the game with the like rhino going out because you're going bada bada
Totally.
bada bada to the bongos. Like
Yeah.
it's so like I
Bada, bada,
am
bada, bada,
there,
bada.
I place myself in it, and I think that's why it's a bit more compelling.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also it's just like the Mario Kingdom area. I don't even know what they refer to it as, just Super Nintendo World, Peach's Castle, whatever. It's beautiful, but the waterfalls and the like shrubs and trees and just it feels like a jungle in DK. It really is like both beautiful and with insane kinetics of the Nintendo world.
I think people like trees. That's what I gotta
I
say.
do too.
I
Trees
love
do
trees.
so much heavy lifting in theme parks. The amount of like trees and plants. Yeah. So one that we talked about islands that I feel like I need to bring up before I forget. Um, Poseidon's Fury has like maybe it obviously it's been closed for a year now, and
Rest
I've
in
done
peace,
the
game.
attraction, and
I
it's
love it.
fine. It's cute. It's very
Dude,
like
it's so
uh,
bad it's good.
yeah,
It's so
very
bad it's good.
campy and silly. Like it
Totally.
was a lot of fun. But that front facade and like
Oh
that
my
back
God.
area of islands that feels like you're not even supposed to be there was one of my favorite experiences the first time I saw it. Because you turn the corner, you're like, what is this enormous lost temple thing? And you
And
can
it
just like
really does
wander
feel
in.
like you're not quite supposed to be there because the
No, it
wayfinding
does.
was kind of like, oh, is this a pathway? I don't know.
Yeah, you feel like you're like in cast member backstage area, and you're not. And that is like one of my favorite reveals too. And I love so I talked about Adventureland and with Darkmoor and that the Lost Continent too, probably more in its heyday. I love that sense of like unfolding adventure
yeah.
of what you can
Oh,
see,
yeah.
what you slowly piece together. Like you don't see it at all. Islands has pretty great sightlines outside of Hagrid's and Velocicoaster, things that were built after its initial development, but like that
I
area
like
is like tucked
Velocicoaster.
away and it's still just like massive. Like you could miss it too if you're just going to Mythos or going through to Potter, but if you turn to your right, you're like, what on earth is that?
And then you're like, never mind,
Oh,
I'm going to
wait.
Hagrid's.
Never mind. Yeah.
I've got a bad that I just forgot I don't know why we didn't talk about. Probably the biggest bad because it's a whole fucking theme park.
Oh,
Universal Studios Florida.
yeah. And they did just get rid of their like one
Of the
piece of
one
kinetic
thing that
energy.
moved.
Yeah.
That place is static and it is not brick, it's soundstage and it is a lagoon that doesn't move. It's just if you have the show going on, cool. That place is dead, man. That place is
And it's very
that
confusing in its master planning too. I mean, like We understand. Unless you're Universal Studios Hollywood and you have the excuse of being an actual studio, don't build
Yeah.
studio parks because they're just a little confusing
They're
and people
confusing
don't
and they're
actually
kind
want to
of
go there.
ugly, and yeah, like I
Yeah.
agree. Like it's why I don't really. It's why Hollywood Studios has one of the best attraction lineups in the world, but I never want to go there.
Oh, I
you
hate
know,
that park.
I
I
just
hate
never
that
want to
park.
Oh,
go there.
I go,
I
I
don't hate it.
go.
I would not say I hate it,
No,
but
no, no. I just like I go. I do Tower of Terror. I
oh yeah,
do Rock and Roller Coaster, and then I leave. And
hey,
then I used to do
sure.
fantastic.
Muppet Vision. I used to do Muppet Vision when it was still around because I'm a Jim Henson
Hmm.
fan. And
Yeah.
then I would leave. And then I would leave because I don't care about anything else.
They do have one of the best acronyms for an attraction in that park, though.
What is it?
Alien swirling saucers.
Oh, true.
Oh, I
Yes.
do love some ass. I do
Yeah.
love some ass. I don't know, man. Slop is pretty good though.
Slop is pretty good. Secret Life of Pets is
Slop is
I
pretty
fantastic.
do love
good.
slop.
I do love
And
Slop.
Slop
Slop is
is
another bad kinetics, though. I do like the queue. I like the little hamster guy, but like you don't see anything of the ride, and the hallways are so narrow. I get kind of claustrophobic in that queue.
I love that queue. I love that queue. I'm gonna fight you on that
I
one.
like the
I think
rooms
it's
when
a
it
great
opens
queue.
up into the apartments. It's wonderful and it's adorable, but like it looks not like a ride when you're walking by it. Like
Which
the
I
way
kind of
Minion Mayhem
appreciate, and I
opens up.
think it works well for that
Oh, I think it
ride
works too. I love that attraction, but
because,
I
like,
do
the whole
think it's
premise is like you're going into this house and you're
that's
seeing all
true.
this stuff, and I think
I love it.
in that same way that your house, I imagine, is not super large and expansive. Like
It is
it
not.
does feel like you're going into a house, which maybe you as a theme park guest with your 30 closest strangers, you don't really want that.
Sure. And like my brain going of, design and whatnot and the stuff we work on, like, oh, they could do this or whatever. But I do love those rooms, especially the little dog and the butt scratch with the little cake mixer, the
Oh,
egg
Oh, he's a
beater.
cutie
That's
patootie.
that
pretty
dog is
great.
so happy.
Yeah, he's having a
How
great
about
time.
how about Minion Mayhem?
It's the same thing, although I will say when you walk through the facade, when it like opens up into a bigger queue, I don't know, you like it, you feel like you're in line for a ride. Or
Yeah,
there's
it's
some
poop.
sections of the slop queue where I'm like, I don't actually feel like I'm in line for a ride. I kind of feel like I'm in like the hallway of an apartment building, which is literally what it's supposed to be. Um, but
Well, what? Okay, I bring up a couple of other things now. What
yes,
about
do it.
Forbidden Journey, where that castle's actually pretty dang static,
Yes.
and the queue also a lot of very static things, except for the couple of show moments you have in there, which are pretty good.
Hmm.
And you get a bit of a preamble to the ride experience, but maybe not in the
Sure.
same way as like a Monsters, which that's the next one on the docket.
Oh
Um,
yes.
where I would actually say for an e-ticket it would fail this card of like having that land kineticism, but
Hmm.
also the
Before
iconography
Hagrid's.
of like
That's what I was
Hogwarts.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Visual anchor. It's a visual anchor.
It does
It's a
so much of the
visual
heavy
anchor.
lifting of just walking through classrooms of Hogwarts. The first time I did it, I mean, I was floored the moment I entered the queue to when I got off the ride.
So I'm just gonna
But
blame J.K. Rowling for another thing. Why didn't she put a
yeah, yeah,
beautiful waterfall down the center of Hogwarts? Like,
yeah.
horrible
Dickhead,
person
what are
and
we
didn't even give
doing?
us good kinetics on their castle. Like, if you're
No,
gonna build a mystical castle, at least put some like waterfalls in it.
I know.
I
And they
think.
always
I
do
think.
that incredible like crane shot in the movies when the train's coming in. You're like, look at this beautiful countryside, and then the
Oh my
castle's
god,
just
yeah,
there.
guys, it's gonna
Yeah, cool
Universal
castle.
build a mini train, but a little mini train at distance, at like little at scale that looks like it's just driving through the castle. And I will say, at night that castle needs a better light package. They need something going on to make
Well, it
it
has a
feel
projection package.
I like the projection in Hollywood a lot during Christmas.
when it's running, but when it's I'm talking like a an afternoon in March. I'm
Oh,
Mm,
seeing that during an
but
event.
Tobias, it doesn't get dark at that park because it closes at 6 o'clock.
that's true.
They
That's
don't need to
true.
worry about a good lighting package.
Why bother? It closes at 6.
Okay, you're right. I don't know. I think that one gets a pass because it's an anchor. That's a visual
Yeah,
anchor. I
I
mean,
agree.
come on. The moment when you walk through the gates of Hogsmeade and you get that forced perspective of Hogsmeade with the
oh,
giant.
it's one of the great reveals.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll give it a pass for that. I'll give it a pass. And I mean, and in Hollywood at least you see Hippogriff a little more to the side and it's moving around. Like it's Hippogriff is doing something at least. Like I think in Florida, I think in Ireland it's a little more hidden by trees and it's also like a little higher up. I think in
Hmm.
Hollywood it's easier to see, and so there you get kind of more of a something going on. But I'll give that one to you definitely. But Potter is like the land is the windows and everything, and that one just it's tough to say. if you want to say that Diagon Alley has that issue, I could say fuck yeah.
Well, and
Mm.
even circling back from like that to Isla Burke again, this goes into like IP selection of like what a
Yeah.
beautiful IP How to Train Your Dragon is of
Yeah.
like it's not just a compelling film or whatever because I would say out of like the Universal films, it's one of the better films, but like is it maybe
Yeah.
in the like cultural zeitgeist as much as
Oh
Potter
no.
or Nintendo or
Absolutely
even like
not.
Monsters? No, but
Yeah.
it makes such a compelling land of just like things can move, things can kind of be here. You can be stylized. The colors are bright and vibrant.
Yeah.
You are able to transport into a place you're not able to be every day. It does that so well that I really applaud them for like, oh yeah, getting that through how many layers of approval to have a land that lends itself to themed immersive design.
Absolutely. It is I always thought it was such an inspired choice. And when the first time I entered Burke, it was really like, oh, this was like it almost felt like this franchise was made for this. Like it was
Yeah.
so and I love those films. I mean, that's an incredible trilogy of movies for
So good.
kids and adults alike. Like very emotionally rewarding, wonderful movies. But like it is so spectacular as a theme park land. And it's just so equipped for that. And it's like, of course. Like, of course. I never thought about it until they announced it for Epic, and it's like, duh.
Well, and
Like
one of I
sweeping
think is
open
funny,
gorgeous
and
skies and all water and fire and little adorable critters, like it's perfect theme park package.
well, and something funny that the theme park designers realized before the movie people did, like the theme park designers leaned into that beautiful cartoon nature of the film,
Yes.
where like you make
Yes.
the live action remake, you're actually doing the exact opposite, where you're now
Oh,
trying to make this beautiful, spectacular, mystical world look more like your mundane everyday. I mean, you're still in Viking, whatever, but you don't have that beautiful, like fake architecture that doesn't work in real life because you're in a cartoon and physics don't apply. Like,
that's why I'm
Absolutely.
it's
I'm very
beautiful.
excited to try to someday see the Zootopia land they just built in
Oh,
Shanghai. Because that's another one that's colorful and zany and has interesting architecture, and I think will be fun to look at in that nonsensical sense that it's so. I mean, that's why. Hey, that's why fucking Goose Landing kicks ass.
I
does
do
it?
love Sue's
I mean, it
Landing.
does, but
Yes.
does it?
I love High in the Sky. Come on.
Don't you shit on Seuss Landing, man. If they take that out, I'm gonna riot.
Y- you know, I think they either need to take it out or give it another coat of paint. One of the two.
Another coat
Okay,
of
that
paint
one's
is
fair.
fair. It
That
is
one's
chip and
fair.
paint.
That one's fair. That place is rotting, but like at the same time, just don't update Cat in the Hat. Let it be its wonderful janky self. Let it fall apart. Let it fall apart. Let it kill me while I'm on it, and I'll
The,
die a happy death.
Yes.
I think out of any attraction in the world, Cat in the Hat is most likely to like Five Nights at Freddy's itself. Like
Oh yeah.
those
Oh
animatronics
yeah.
are
Oh,
coming to life
yes.
and they're gonna murder you somehow.
Yes, totally.
What was it? I was gonna go. I guess I want to maybe move into like new, where the industry is headed now, and is this an art form that we might start losing? I mean, Epic did some good stuff with attractions, but the kinetic energy into design. I'm thinking new attractions.
I mean,
Some have.
Tron, you
That's what
know,
I'll say. Tron is like Tron is perfect. It's also like I haven't been on it, but like if you ask me, and I love Tron, what is the one thing you want to do from Tron? This is like going back to Mike's earlier point about Rise of the Resistance not doing the one thing you want to do in Star Wars, like go fast and fly. What's the one thing I want to do in Tron? It's ride a
ride the
fucking light
light cycle.
cycle, man.
Yeah, of
I want to
course,
ride
of
the light
course.
cycle. And that one does it, but then I don't know. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, you've got that as a new addition over there. You've got the Frozen lands that are being built absolutely everywhere. Like how many parks are building a Frozen now? Like two or three? I don't even
Probably
know.
like
Hong Kong, it's in Tokyo. It's obviously in Florida, sort of in Florida. I
well,
mean,
and I
it's
think some of those
Epcot,
have
but
like the mountain with the roller coaster that goes through it and stuff, which is pretty fun
yes,
and
That would be
yes.
compelling.
nice. Oh, an Avengers Campus.
Actually, concept art, you look at Avengers Campus, you have the
The arms, the Stark test,
Avengers,
right?
huh?
The Stark test that's moving shit around, or
Yes, you have the Stark flight lab. Yeah.
Flight
Mm-hmm.
Lab.
Where I think that actually will have beautiful kinetics in the land because you're having those robotic arms, like as you see in the
Flinging
concept
around,
art, like
yeah.
wave people around. And like, who doesn't want to see that? I mean, that's going to be so much fun. And I think for a land that was designed in a very, unfortunately, static way,
Yeah.
which come on, Avengers. Uh, but like in a land that I think mainly due to cost kind of became more static, I think that
Hmm.
attraction will bring a lot of life to that new kind of neighborhood back there, and it'll be
Mm.
really fun to see that movement. And I think a lot of people are going to
Is
love it.
is that going to be like guest? I thought in the concept art that was kind of facing away from the general guest area though. That was like kind of like in a nook or something, like in a corner. That I thought like you
I thought it
round
was
the
in the
corner,
open.
or like I know I'm just saying like I thought it was like kind of like where you walk in. At least California Adventure, you walk in. I think no one else is getting the event. That's just us, right? That's just
I think,
us
Hmm.
thing.
yeah, we're the only ones getting that right now. I think.
Okay, so you know how you walk in, you've got fucking web slingers. You've got web slingers, and then you kind of keep going straight. You got guardians in the back. I thought it was like when you're that walk when you're going straight in. I thought it was gonna be like you make a right at some point, and that's where you go in
Yeah.
to that
So
new
you know where
neighborhood.
like the Quinjet is?
Yeah, yeah.
You go around the like that building, it has the corner. You just go deeper into the land, and there's a big old wall there. And if you look at like photos of it, like
Well,
it's
but
pretty
that's what
clear.
I'm saying. Like, is that going to be facing away from that like central part of the land where where you have Guardians facing you here, you've got Spider-Man in the back. Like, is it? You know what I'm talking about? Where the Pem test it's kind of like the central part where you got the Pem test kitchen on one side, you've got the Quinjet on the other, you have
Yeah, yeah,
Guardians in
yeah.
front of you, and you got. I thought,
Hmm.
is it facing that way? Because that feels like the heart of the land,
No, I
or is it
think it's
facing away from that?
it's kind of, I think, more in this new little neighborhood, kind of in the way of like Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters, which like that's
Okay,
really fun to look at. But it kind of
sure,
you have to be on that little side area. Like
exactly.
it's not
That's my
maybe that
question.
like grand pinnacle view of it in the same way as like Radiator Springs Racers or whatever. But I think when you're in the areas where you can see it, just kind of based off of the concept art, I think it'll be really fun to look at.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess you answered my question. Are things going the right direction with this? Yeah, they're fine. They're doing good.
I
I think
mean,
Galaxy's Edge was just maybe a blip.
I think kind of sort of actually. Like
Oh,
I hope
okay.
it continues to go that way, but I think as time permits and like rides get more and more expensive, it kind of depends on like weather control a lot, right? Because a lot of
Oh,
these rides, especially in California, it's like they're uncovered rides that just kind of can perform in sun. But like, Epic Universe has the big complaint of like, oh yeah, how the park
Donkey
shuts down
Kong.
in weather. Well, wait, that's all of our nice kinetic rides that we really like that bring atmosphere and life to the land. So it's kind of that finding the balance of like, okay, can you have an outdoor ride that brings that beautiful kinetic energy to there, but maybe suffer with capacity and the demands of all of that? Or do you take that risk and that hit of capacity when you might have unforeseen weather that shuts down your attraction in a given day? And what's that
Yeah,
percentage look
yeah,
like?
yeah. Because I was about to say like another one that I like for kinetics, and it's not so much a visual thing; it's more a sound thing. But test track at Epcot when you're walking by it, and you hear that motherfucker roar by, just whip. But then yeah, that it rains or it drizzles, and that thing is down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Florida's tough, man. Florida's like
It
how
is tough.
we're here. We're lucky because here, like, when do you get rain? You get rain like maybe like a month out of the year if you're lucky.
But then, like, on the flip
Um,
side of that, we now are dealing with some pretty extreme heat a lot of the time, and
Oh,
it's like,
sure. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
well, am
yeah,
I wanting to invest a lot of money on an attraction that's indoors where it's, like, nice and air conditioned and all that, or am I gonna spend the money on something that might be outdoors, and is that as nice for your ride
but you could
operators and your guests?
but you could do a
Who
Donkey
can
Kong here
say?
much easier than in Florida. Donkey Kong's a mix of both. Donkey Kong you have
Oh, yeah,
indoor
sure.
and outdoor, right? You can do something like that where it still has indoor sections. You're not dying the whole time. You can have the extreme heat, but you also have the kinetic energy. And that's not gonna have problems it has in Florida because like it's Los Angeles, it's or
Right, and that's your
SoCal, San
Radiator Springs
Diego, whatever.
Racers,
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
and,
those
oh,
hybrids.
Jurassic too, yeah.
Pretty incredible
Yeah.
example of kinetics and land is Radiator
Oh,
Springs Racers.
Radiator Springs was like one of their home runs,
Even
dude.
when
That
you
place
enter
is.
Cars Land, not from the main vantage point, but from the side, which I don't know if you still can do, but you used to be able to do
Yeah, I
that.
think you can.
I
I
haven't
think
been
Which
you can.
one?
okay. The when you can enter cars through the old San Francisco area.
Oh, yeah,
San
yeah,
Fran,
yeah.
Tokyo,
Oh,
yeah, and you
When
get
you
cool.
see
the
the cars
mountain.
go by
Yeah.
and the mountains, you're like, "Whoa, that is such an incredible reveal." And the whole land builds towards it. That's a good one.
I
That's a
got
home run.
I got a
Yeah,
question then before I guess we wrap up on this. This is a fun conversation. You
sure.
get choose one IP that you would love. I mean, we all work in this. We'll get the chance one day to pitch something fun that would lend itself well to this kind of land, like How to Train a Dragon, right? It's almost designed for this. You know, for on the haunted house side, Terrifier almost feels like it's more designed to be a haunted house in a movie.
Yeah,
Um,
I felt that way for
so
sure.
what's a franchise that you they're like, hey, we need something new. We want you to pitch this. We want you to make not just an attraction, but a land
Hmm.
around this IP. I
I mean,
gotta think about this. I don't even fucking know the answer.
I said it earlier.
I know what you're gonna
Hyrule,
say.
Zelda would be so much fun to do. Like if you could simulate, the amount of just free range exploration in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom specifically, but even like the puzzle aspect of like dungeons. If you had dungeons, guests could go in and solve different puzzles and like maze type things where
Oh,
walls
I'm
shift
sure they
around.
would.
If you could do something to where you have to like solve puzzles to advance through, I think that'd be, spectacular. And then you have a ride, that's like a flight of passage emotional type response of like a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom kind of exploration situation. I mean, forever my answer's always been Star Trek. Of if you could give me an IP to work on, I'd want to do that.
Dude,
But
give me
it
the
would
lower
be
decks experience. Let's
please,
go.
but it would be so hard to do kinetics in that way because that property is largely confined to ships. There's obviously grand senses of adventure and exploring new worlds and whatnot, but the thrill of being on the bridge maybe isn't a universal feeling for the theme
Yeah,
park
Star Trek
guest.
doesn't get its thrills from going around really fast like Star
Right.
Wars. It gets
No.
its thrill from, highbrow diplomacy and
Correct.
like,
Intellectual stimulation. Yeah.
saying really long weird things about, the warp core reactor. That's
Yeah.
Star Trek.
That's always been the untapped IP for me of like, oh, I would love to do something with that I can like enjoy as a themed entertainment experience. And someone I work for and work with did do that with a Star Trek tour in Las Vegas, and I wish I could have got to see that when it was open. But
Same. Same.
yeah, but alas, I think Zelda would lend itself, and it's going to, right? It's all but confirmed the universe is gonna do it. Um, in the Lost Continent, maybe. Ooh, who can say? We'll find out, I'm sure, in a few years.
Tune
Next
in
time.
2027 to
Yes,
find out what's getting
but
when it's open because that's Universal. They're not gonna announce anything until it's built.
yeah, but I
That's
think
a
there's
very
a
nice
lot of
popcorn cart they
potential.
have over there.
It is, yes,
Great popcorn cart.
yes, the churro stand, of course.
Ooh, I have
What do you
mine.
guys
But
think? Yeah, yeah,
I want
go
to let
ahead.
Mike go first. Do you got Mike?
I I'm like trying to think deeply. And this okay, so like this might be me as a project coordinator where I'm not necessarily the like super creative one, or I'm not
Hmm.
even like a designer really. I really enjoy pulling ideas together and hearing what people have to say and then trying to find consensus and move things forward whilst also dealing with the fliffer flaffer of management. Like that's I
Yes.
think kind of where I found that I fit best in this industry.
This is our
Um,
friends.
exactly.
That's my
Spreadsheets.
job half the
I
Symbiotic.
want
fucking
to
time. That's my
excel the
job half the
land.
time. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
No,
Okay,
but I
but
mean,
have fun. Come on.
I will. Uh, but I think like I don't know.
I
I hear
promise.
rumors of like Lord of the Rings,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
I get a lot of joy from rides that like lean into the nature and kind of being out with a lot of trees, but then also being able to do some high adventure stuff in that. So the idea of like Zelda and Lord of the Rings are very appealing to me. But then like from a design point of view of wanting to see something maybe a bit more funky,
Hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas, like
Yeah.
indoor
Oh,
land
dude, that would
would
be
be really neat
fantastic.
and kind of
I didn't think of that.
something UV. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I how, I'm trying to think of a universe that is just like super open where you can kind of interpret it because I think theme park designers what we do best is when we're given that creative freedom to create a land that can become whatever you need it to be.
Right.
Um, I think that's where we can get some really great stuff, especially with the modern tools we have now. And hopefully, as this IP thing kind of is lifted, as we've seen with monsters, like that's
Hmm.
kind of IP, but also that's kind of its own new thing, which is wonderful and spectacular. I hope we
Absolutely.
continue to see rides and attractions and lands that lend itself to these kind of really cool, very specific theme park design principles.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I
mine
agree.
kind of fits into that. Um, Mine is something that has been done in theme parks before, but I haven't seen it done well. I want Gotham City, man.
Oh, sure, DC Comics, yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, but Gotham City in particular,
Mhm.
because of how zany all like imagine like and the cool thing about Gotham is there's 3 billion interpretations. So you can let the theme park designers have
Run
their way with
wild, yeah.
what does this Gotham look like? Um and so I mean you could have like the where the different criminals hide out and you could really
The
design
various different, like, layers, right?
exactly, that you can
Yeah.
explore and
The
how each of
Iceberg
those have their
Lounge can be a club.
exactly. You have like a restaurant, the Iceberg Lounge. The Batcave
Mhm,
is hidden, but it's a very
mhm.
secluded area. And then you've got the
Mm,
Batcave there. You know, you've got obviously your mandatory funhouse for whatever Joker is up to,
sure.
right? But I think that like those characters are so zany and different. And you know, you've seen Six Flags do it, and they're not focused on the theming as well.
Have you seen the
And
videos of the Abu Dhabi, DC area? They have a little
yeah,
Gotham.
it's just not what I like. I just think Gotham could be a huge land where you
Sure.
could just build on
Well,
and I'm
that
not saying I'm not saying any version of Gotham. I'm not saying like
No.
to Burton Gotham or Nolan Gotham. I'm saying like let the theme park designers make their own Gotham City.
but I
Mhm.
think to the point of it that you're saying, Toby, I think a Gotham City would really only be truly successful in the way that you're imagining it if they did a ghost town alive treatment to it. Because
Exactly,
I
Yes.
think
exactly.
it's hard to like say this attraction really encompasses this because it's like, no, you want that interaction with the characters that are then going to drive the atmosphere in the
Mhm.
world.
But that's also part of what makes Monsters Unleashed and Dragon.
Sure.
They have great
Yeah.
character interaction. Monsters Unleashed, sorry. I meant
Monsters
Darkmoor.
Unchained. I
Yeah,
always love when you
Darkmoor
say
has
Monsters Unleashed because it just brings back Scooby-Doo 2 into my brain, and I'm like, "Yes,
I just
Scooby Doo.
my
Yes.
problem is I did horror Unleashed in Vegas and Monsters Unchained within like a
Yeah,
2 3 month
no,
period.
I
So
know.
like they're both mixed up in my head. But
Why
like
do we keep on
yeah,
chaining and leashing things? Come on.
Come on."
We got to stop
I don't know,
doing that. They're going to get
I,
out.
but that's also part of the I mean, like, we saw Universal do it well, we've seen Knott's do it well, like, come on, Gotham City with, like, those neighborhoods that you could discover, and tons of kinetic energy, you could have tons with signs, you could have things in the sky, you could have Batman projections, like,
Mhm.
going throughout the rooftops, like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
tons of
Oh,
place that the bat signal at night turns on, like, how fucking cool would it be? You're in this place at night, the bat signal just turns on, and you see, like, a shadow projection of Batman, tiny, obviously, but from a distance, running on the rooftops. That would lose my fucking mind.
dude.
Dude,
And
you
then
gotta
Um,
hear me
watch
out.
the
Hear
theme
me out.
park
B&M
history
creates a
or
roller coaster themed around Batman. It's an inverted
and
coaster. It'd be really good. They'll call it Batman the
and
Ride.
we go really hard in the paint on the queue for some reason,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
the
yeah.
ride is just a roller coaster.
And it's going to pack
and we're gonna make
way too many
18 of
G's.
them. And we're
Yeah.
gonna make 18 of them, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
put them
yeah.
in every park, and we're not gonna do any upkeep, and it's gonna be really intense.
And then we're
Oh
going to
no.
run it backwards for like 2 Halloweens and then never talk about it again.
Destroy the track, yes.
Oh,
That's
you know what else
awesome.
would be fun? And I'm sure we're about to get it. We're about to get it at Epic any day now. Oz will be very
Oh,
fun.
yeah, no,
Oz, we're gonna get that soon. I'm not
Yeah,
doubt
that'd
about
be
it.
good. Oz would be
yeah, it's such a easy no-brainer for a theme park land, and I'm not even particularly a fan of Wicked.
Mm.
I'm not really a big musical
good.
person. I mean, they're both incredible singers. That's indisputable, and the music is obviously well written. But I think, yeah, Oz itself. I mean, walking through the Yellow Brick Road to various different areas of that land is going to be, it's going to be amazing. And just the iconography of the Wizard of Oz is universal for sure too. Universal, pun intended, I guess.
Oh. Well, and not to get the conversation deeper, but much how they've done a weekend maze,
Mm,
what musical artists do you think would lend themselves well to a theme park land? Including Taylor Swift, whose hubby just bought part of Six
Six
Flags. That's
Six
Flags.
probably
Yeah,
what
Flags,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? I mean, like you have Dollywood, but that's less of like, oh yeah, this is
Oh my god,
maybe
It's
in
more
that
of an
like,
of an ode to like the Smoky Mountains than Dolly
yeah,
Parton.
where it's like,
Um,
okay, what would Taylor Swift land be? What would
yeah.
Bruno Mars land be? You know, I think like the idea of a music-driven land, and
Yeah.
especially like how much a soundtrack does carry your experience. Like,
Oh, sure.
Ooh,
and
I
so
love
many
this.
music videos are so wonderful. I mean, Toby, you might know a thing or two about music videos, but there's so much
I don't know what
detail
you're
that goes
talking
into
about.
them.
I've never worked on a music video in my life.
Never.
You know what?
Um,
That just brought back a core memory of as a kid. I used to like draw theme park
Me
rides and
too.
lands very
Me
crudely
too.
because I'm not a great
We all did.
artist. But
Yeah.
Dude,
we all see
dude.
right. And you know, Mike, if you don't know, you follow me on Instagram, maybe you do. I play guitar and sing on the side.
Dude,
It's like a
he's good.
hobby. I'm
Listen to
alright.
Olympia. Listen to
Uh,
Olympia. I've had
yeah.
that shit. I've had that shit on repeat.
Oh,
It's a
thanks,
good song.
buddy. That's
It's a
Everyone,
very
good.
look for the
nice.
link in the description of this podcast. You're going to get Spencer sing Olympia. It's going to be
Yeah,
beautiful. He
it's
on the
gonna be
guitar.
good.
Former
He's
Jock.
got
The
them
artist
chords.
is Former Jock. Hey, you know who
Thank
would make
you,
a great
everyone.
theme park attraction? Former Jock.
Oh
We should let
God,
him make it.
no.
It's
But
just
whatever.
Seattle. The ride is
No.
Seattle.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
the
just going through the
ride.
city.
Get your
No,
tucky.
one of my as a kid, like it's my dad's favorite band, but I used to draw rides themed around the members of Kiss. And so when you said like, I was like, oh, what if like a silly heavy metal land or
That
like
would be so good.
theme park where everything is just so exaggerated and over the top and like fiery roller coasters, but like to a fun, like X2, but like themed with silly like iconography of like metal imagery would be pretty fun.
Because where else would you do that? That's perfect for a theme park because you are like allowed to be fun and silly like that. And it's like
Yeah.
now you get to go to this world of Kiss or AC/DC even.
Or
Like,
Alice Cooper, you know, all
yeah,
those types of things. Yeah.
Ozzy
Okay.
That'd be a
Osbourne.
blast. Ozzy
Oh,
Osbourne, of
Ozzy,
course.
dude. Ozzy
Yeah.
and
Like,
the Nightmare World.
mm-hmm.
Literally.
All right, what
I
about
think
you,
that would
Mike?
be a lot of fun.
Oh, me again?
No, he just
Well,
went.
you asked
Toby,
the
what was your
question.
he asked the question. What was your musician or
Oh,
music choice?
dude, listen. I mean, operationally, it would be hell because of the kind of guests you would get, and it would never work. But the Grateful Dead,
Oh, sure.
come on,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I mean, they
I
kind
mean,
of are
look,
breaking into it with the Sphere, right? Like,
dude. I
there's
mean, like they have so many. They
yeah,
have so many fun, colorful characters.
sure.
That their visuals are so out there and colorful. The music is basically just improvisation the whole time. So just having that around, given I would not want to be in a theme park with a bunch of deadheads.
Probably
Like,
Okay,
not. Probably not.
Joby, I raise you that then to gorillas
That's a great answer.
because they
oh,
have great music.
Daft,
They have decent lore too,
And I
like
feel like
really
David
yeah,
interesting
Albarn is the
characters.
type of musician who'd be like game for breaking new ground with something like that. He'd be all in. That's a
Totally.
great answer.
fine.
And
I have
like,
one
I
more
would love
after
to listen to
this,
some
but
gorilla music on like a fun coaster, you know?
Yeah. Or like Up Melancholy Hill, the ride. You know, you're
Yeah.
going up.
You
It's
could
called
have
Melancholy
Melancholy
Hill.
Hill built there, you know?
Yes,
Like,
literally. Yeah, yeah. That's great.
hear me out. Hear me out. Daft Punk land, and we call it the Grid.
Yeah, I mean that's or
whatevs.
just
It's
yeah,
whatevs.
Tron Legacy, you
How about
know.
we call it
Um,
Electronica
Wait.
and it's a nightclub at DCA?
I
there we
guess
go.
just to keep on this train because I
What
like
was the
that.
nightclub in Disneyland called?
Wasn't
Oh,
it
I forget.
Electronica?
That was one of them. There was like for teenagers. It was like where teens go
Oh,
at
oh
night.
fuck! That's where the
The
theater is
dance
now.
party
The
is
outdoor, the dance
now.
party
Theater
is
back
Yeah.
now.
there.
What was that called?
Videopolis?
Videopolis?
Yeah.
Videopolis, yes. Okay. One more. You get to have one auteur director of your choice, film director, design an entire, and you can't say Spielberg because he's already done it.
The
But you
answer's
get to
Tim
have.
Burton.
No, I have one. I have another one. But okay, Tim Burton for you to design a whole theme
Yeah.
park land,
I feel like
like
he
not as IP. He just gets to design whatever he wants.
no, and
Or
Mike
she.
said, you know, Nightmare, but I think Burton's German expressionist over the top land would be good. I mean, is this your answer? I'm sorry, but Del Toro would obviously
It
also
was
be
my
amazing.
answer. It was
Okay,
Del
we can talk
Toro.
about that. You can talk about that. But
I
yeah,
mean, dude, Del Toro. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
I mean,
that'd be
we
pretty
never got
sweet.
the Haunted Mansion Del Toro that I've always wanted.
Yeah.
But like that man's attention to detail. Like I've been rewatching some of his movies. I just rewatched Crimson Peak, which underrated gem, by the way.
Incredible movie.
It's
Yeah.
Haunted
It is-
Mansion, but horror and no Disney.
It is, but I mean, he made that
Yeah.
as a response to Haunted Mansion, basically.
Yeah.
But like
Even this Pinocchio, man. Like, come on.
dude, yeah, the design, that man, like the way he designs things and the detail and like the way like the sets in his worlds just feel like they're alive. Let that man make whatever he wants.
He loves theme parks. Like,
He does.
He's probably
Nightmare
very jealous
Alley,
of like
his
James
whole
Cameron right
setting is
now.
like, oh, Cameron, yeah. Cameron kind of has done it already too, though, with
Oh
Pandora and
yeah, he was
whatnot.
hand in hand with all of Avatar.
Oh yeah,
Okay, Del Toro, guys, come on, let him do something. Let Del
that'd be pretty
Toro make a
sweet.
theme. Come on, oh, but Netflix is like his deal. He had some stuff with Universal for a while.
I'd
Yeah.
want to go back in time to just have the Monty Python group
Oh,
make a
so
theme park.
true.
Because I
That'd be
think
a
that would just
lot
be
of
so
fun.
silly and charming and like non-serious that they would get what a theme park is and then be able to properly make a spoofy theme park that still
Dude, it
feels
would
in the
The
be
first
universe
park that's satirical about theme parks
and
would be
works.
pretty
Yeah.
great and
it,
works.
it
Yeah.
it would be almost like a Ren Fair type thing. I feel like with them, but it would just find a way to make it. I'm just thinking of like,
Holy
what's it
Grail.
called, Holy
You're just thinking
Grail.
of Holy
But
Yeah.
Grail,
they have
yeah.
other ones that I love. Oh my god.
Well, like
I
what,
mean,
Terry
we almost
Gilliam?
got Muppets Land. Terry
Life of
Gilliam.
Brian, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love Terry Gilliam. Yeah.
Well, and all of
Didn't
his
he make
films he
something
did
recently?
afterwards are so like gaudy in their set design and almost similar to like Disneyland Paris. And
Mm,
like just how they're so rich in detail. And like you look at these sets, and you're like, how did you have that much money to build sets? And then he did.
yeah.
It really I think could lend itself to some really nice theme park design.
Yeah. I
Uh,
agree with that.
um,
That's a
what was I
great
just talk?
inspired
What were we
choice.
just talking about?
Thank you.
Film. You
Terry
said
Gilliam.
suggested Taylor Gilliam,
Yeah.
yeah.
He just made something recently, didn't he? Am I crazy? Or did he? No, never mind. I just saw one of his movies recently. I just saw Time Bandits again.
He popped up in Casper when I rewatched it, and I was like, "Oh, you're in this," and I was absolutely delighted. It was fantastic.
Have you guys seen
That's
Brazil?
great.
No.
No.
Brazil's probably his best movie.
Mm.
Oh,
Brazil's a masterpiece. Oh my god, I love
I'll have to
Brazil.
see that.
Shout out to
Um,
Brazil.
all right, I guess we can move on to our cool thing of the week. What the fuck did?
Yeah, that was our long-winded, fun conversation about atmosphere, and we talked about cues and design and all of the
Yeah, sorry,
above.
Mike. We just meander.
No, it was good.
Really, I didn't notice.
Yes, it was great.
Okay,
It
I
was great.
meander too, believe it or not.
It's almost like, yeah, that's a common trait with the people in this industry. Who knew? But yes, Mike, we end each episode with talking about something cool that's themed. Could be a ride, new theme park, museum exhibit. Something you just saw at a store that you thought was a fun installation. Something cool and themed you saw this week or last.
He's always at
Recently.
theme parks. This motherfucker.
Yes, Mike is a big theme park attendee. He lives
Yeah.
obviously in Southern California with Toby, so he's got some of the best in his backyard. But if you have one
Oh,
that comes
yep.
to mind, or I can bounce it off to Toby to start.
Bounce off to Toby, and I'll do
Okay.
some deep thinking
I
on what.
Yeah.
I don't have something cool, but this was me, Mike, when I was with you at City Walk. I want them to have like a dedicated themed store in there, man. Like a really themed store, like almost a tribute store that's permanent. I don't know, man. It's just like they try that with that production studio store they have, like they kind of sort of lightly theme it every season. But like I just
Yeah.
think like that would, I mean, and they do well with the Potter section of the main studio store.
Sure.
But I was just like, they have these abilities, and I wish there was a store I could just walk into like every few months to be like, it's almost like the tribute is in Horror Nights, or like whatever the tribute store is for whatever seasonal overlay is happening at Universal Studios Florida. I'm like, dude, put that in. I think I just miss World of Disney, guys. I think I just miss
Actually
OG
bouncing
World
off
of
of
Disney.
that, like bring me back
Yeah.
on the pod, but like I have a gripe with shopping. It is
Oh.
not a fun experience, and I think it
No, it
could be
sucks.
a really good experience.
Dude, have
And
we
like
done a retail
especially for like
episode?
Mm-mm.
exclusive brands and stuff like that
Oh
you're
yeah.
spending a ton of money on. And I want to save this conversation because I have a
No,
lot to say on it.
I would love to have you
Um,
back on. This is something I'm actually really fascinated and
Yes.
interested in because I love walking into, like, I love
Themed
window
retail.
shopping and even just curated stores that are really well designed and
Oh,
curated. Like I love
have you?
oddity shops and things like that. Like I would love for brands to get into this more.
You know what's
Of
amazing? And
yeah,
sorry,
no, go
sorry.
ahead.
I ADHDing.
Your brain gets
In
going.
that vein, one of my favorite things ever. Have you guys ever walked like the streets of New York during Christmas where all the stores are at? And each of the
yeah.
windows has this different, like very themed design to
That's
it.
what I'm talking about. Like little towns do that too. Like with that
It's
small businesses, like window
amazing.
installations, right? Like, yeah. Like FAO
Um,
Schwartz and the toy stores in New York
Well,
and
like
Dude,
stuff.
even
yeah,
more like,
retail was more fun.
analyzing like how do I even like down to the like nitty gritty of like I walk in and I grab a piece of merchandise or whatever. Like
Hmm.
I want to go deeper into that experience and how I grab that and what emotionally brings me to wanting to select this piece. I think
Absolutely.
there's a very deep rabbit hole that goes into like brand
No, it's
experiences,
a great one. It's a
which
great
is
one,
like
and
yeah. And that's something that
we're
BRC does. So I need to poke some brains over there about it because
you
it is
yes, you
something that
bring them on the
we
pod. Bring
do.
them on the
Yeah,
pod. Let's do a retail episode.
that would
No,
be.
I
I
Yeah.
would
mean,
love that.
and we're finally getting the rejection of the antithesis of that, which was like
The Apple Store
the
minimalism
Apple Store
garbage.
early
Yeah.
2000s,
Yeah.
which is
Still
like
that.
walk in and it is just sleek, and here
No, I
is the
miss when like
product.
Target had a little dog animatronic and his tail wagged. That was the best. And the giant red balls in the front. Who didn't love those? Like the feeling of like you're
Dude,
walking into this other place.
I
That
saw a
was the
TikTok
best.
recently where someone purchased one of those large
Oh, I think
concrete
I saw
balls.
that too.
I don't know. It's like
They
it
like had them
weighs
custom
1,000
ordered.
pounds, but it's in my living room.
I mean, it is a full solid concrete sphere.
so
I
yeah, I
used to
don't know.
love when stores had characters too, like the giraffe at Toys R Us, and
Yeah.
like
Dude,
Old Navy had
the
like
New
little like
York
family in the front, little like
Dude,
mannequin family.
The New York City Toys R Us, core memories for me growing up. That
Hmm.
was a theme park in itself. They
Yeah,
had an
yeah.
animatronic T-Rex in there.
No way, really.
They had an animatronic T-Rex in the Jurassic Park section. It was all themed to Jurassic Park. Look it
That's
up.
awesome.
And then they
And
had a
tune in
Ferris
next
wheel
time,
in the
folks, when
middle.
we talk about stores on Fully Immersed. Got to tease
That's
Have
me
you
with
guys
certain
seen
certainly
that?
links
gonna
for the
Look
next
it
happen
up.
now.
merchandise to
Guys,
your passion. You got to do it.
do
Yeah.
yourself a favor. Look up what that store used to be. It was 3 stories and 3 stories, open design, with the middle being a Ferris wheel, with each
Hmm.
of the carts designed to some different IP. They had giant transformers that were life size and turned on. They had giant. They had I remember the New York City, what's it called? Oh my God, Empire State Building built out of
Hmm.
Lego in the Lego section, and a fucking animatronic T-Rex. I would just go to that store when I was in New York and just stare at the T-Rex, and I'd do nothing else. I wouldn't even buy anything. I'd just be like, robot T-Rex,
The amount
yes.
of
Fair
like
enough.
passion that just like you just the fucking T-Rex. You just got so
Just
excited.
ready to just
I would
roll
do
into this
okay,
next topic
dude.
straight on.
Yeah.
Make it a
Listen,
3-hour ep.
you're a 6-year-old and you walk into a store and there is a robotic T-Rex in there. How are you gonna react?
Yeah,
Explosively. You're
can't
just
argue with
gonna.
that.
Exactly.
No.
All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
Universal City Walk, you're rebuilding it. Put something themed in there. Make shopping fun. You're Universal for Christ. You just little Epic Universe. You can give us. Don't give us a Fast and Furious shop though, please. We don't need that.
So Toby's cool thing is he went to City Walk and had constructive criticism. Um,
Yeah.
I'll go if you
Yeah.
don't have one yet, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I'll go
You
ahead.
got rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I definitely want to have that chat more. No, I went to this is like the most touristy thing I've never done in my life, but I went to the top of the Space Needle this last weekend with some friends in
Oh,
town.
sick.
In addition to, the view being crazy and the glass floor being one of the most terrifying things I've ever done, the see-through floor to the bottom, there is a really cool museum section about the construction of the needle, and that thing was built in like just over a year. That's crazy
Wow.
to me. I mean, it's like enormous, right?
fast.
And it shows you like from the moment it was announced and was built, if you don't know, from the 1962 World's Fair, which, those used to be a pretty amazing thing that we did as a people.
Oh,
And,
I'd love to
a
go
lot
back
of
to
Walt
those.
Disney classic attractions were born in World's Fairs.
Mike, we'd have work every year guaranteed.
Oh,
if
it'd be
we were back in-
wonderful.
we'd all be working. We'd all be
Yeah,
working like once a year for like months on the World's Fair, whatever.
it'd be pretty great. But yeah, they
GLC
have a
just
really
did the
cool.
World Expo actually, which is new World's Fair for the USA Pavilion, and it was a very, very good pavilion.
Nice.
Yes. So
That's
it's been fun,
awesome.
like hearing about expos and stuff, and just kind of the significance they have to a place.
Yeah, no, but it was like a really cool little exhibit, and they had like you could like it was like a rotoscope. What those are called with animation? The zoetrope. Like you could see the thing going up year by
Oh, I love
year.
zoetropes.
That's
Yeah.
So you
cool.
could see like the needle going up and the needle coming down, and it's just talking about all of the things that build into it. And they have it staggered to where you get higher up the ramp to the elevator, and you can like see the different like joints and stuff that were actually in the base of the needle, and it's telling you what you're looking at. It was honestly a really well curated little museum before you go up the needle. And I was like, this is cool. I'm going to talk about this. So that's what I did. The top of it's cool. I've been up high. It's
A
a
little
cool
bit of
view.
context before content there. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. But I love museums and stuff like that. And I was like, this is clever. I'm going to give it a shout out. Okay, do you have one?
Okay, I do have one. It's what I did
Okay.
on Halloween. I
Ooh.
went to Clifton's for the first time, which is a
Oh,
very
that's a
Ah,
cool
great
themed
one.
bar in downtown Los Angeles. And
yes.
it's a very cool place. It's very chic. It's, you're not going to hear Monster Mash there, which as a complete nerd, maybe wasn't exactly the vibe I was looking for on Halloween. But I was impressed by like just the theming and the little niche areas, and it has this beautiful tree in the center of it, which is this faux tree that they were projecting on and had this like, wonderful, beautiful
Oh, they
layout.
were projecting
And
when you went? I didn't get projection mapping at times I've gone.
it was light projection, but they had they had a handful of projectors. Like I was looking at it, as us theme park nerds do, and I was like, that's an expensive projector. That's an expensive projector. And you see
Yeah,
like little
every
above
time,
ground
every
money.
time, yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Wow, that's a lot of money they spent on that. Like some
That's a
cool
Yeah.
lasers.
Christie, you motherfuckers are loaded.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Christy, Panasonic. Oh
Oh,
boy.
sweet
Um,
Christy.
Christy, naughty girl. uh, but no, I was impressed, and I really want to go back to the bar. Hopefully during a more kind of like chill day.
Mhm.
Just because I want to explore the tiki bar because it was closed off for a private thing. Um, and yeah, just it's this weird little niche themed thing, and there's taxidermy, and there's just these beautifully themed areas, and it just kind of feels very like um I don't know. It's a very cool place to be.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I have to check this out. I haven't heard of this actually, but Toby's
Dude,
reaction made me want to go.
Clifton's is it used to be like a big store, I think, back
Mm,
in the day, and then it got bought out and it turned into a 3-story. Did you go to the tiki bar? Yeah, right.
No,
you
it was
tried to.
closed.
Yeah.
They closed the tiki bar? That's the
Yeah,
best
that
part of
it was up in the
Clifton's.
VIP section.
Oh.
So yeah, it's like a hidden tiki. So it's 3 stories, and each story is a different theme. And the tiki bar is the rooftop, and it's really fucking cool. We
Nice.
Mousetrap. When I was there, we were trying to do some stuff for them. That
Oh
oh my
yeah.
god, the concepts we had. I mean, they've been trying to find ways to heighten it up. That being said, like, look, it's not a great dancing bar from what I remember. Like the dance floor is not big.
Toby does enjoy
And
his dancing.
well, if I'm drunk enough, buddy, I'm gonna shake
Oh,
my.
you're clubbing.
I'm Kike Hernandez,
The
bro.
Argentina comes
Um,
out of him and he's hitting the dance floor.
but they've been trying because it's got a steep cover charge. It's
Oh,
20
I'm
bucks.
sure.
Yeah.
Oof.
So last time I went, I'm not sure what it is now, Mike. I mean, you went on
Well,
Halloween,
the
so it might be
Halloween
more.
event was a bit more than that even.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not
So,
surprising.
Yeah.
but
I
it's
love
really.
LA. If you want to follow this podcast, you can subscribe obviously on Spotify and Apple. You can find us on TikTok at Fully Immersed Pod, on Instagram at Fully Immersed Pod. I think by proxy we also have a Facebook. So if it's there, follow it, Fully Immersed Pod. Give us 5 stars on whatever you're listening to us on. 2 thumbs
5
up,
middle fingers.
two middle fingers, as Lane always says. Like, get them clicks. Yes, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. You know what to do. You know how it works. But like I said, thank you, Toby. Thank you, Mike. I've been Spencer Bennett. This is Fully Immersed episode 15. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.